The voices of the people and the caterwaulers are being drowned out, and I'm loving it. Let's see a few examples here, shall we? Hopefully, I am sharing the screen. Let me get this caterwauler off the screen. Let me see, among people who enjoyed the Tomorrow War, but then some other people, wow, it's taken over. And the thing is, the creature effects team on the Tomorrow War, yes, round of applause. This movie, if you find something wrong with this movie, there's something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. I'm going to get into these tweets and all these other things, like the couple of articles that were written, okay? Written about this movie. I'm going to cut into this. Going to cut into it.
You, turn around.
You prefer the view from behind?
No, well, yes. You know I can't lie.
Last time I saw a movie I enjoyed this much, I can't even remember. And the thing is, it's not like it broke any new ground or anything like that in terms of narrative. It's not The Matrix, first one, by any stretch of the imagination. It's not Inception by any stretch of the imagination. It's not The Dark Knight. It's not any of those things. But this film, first of all, I don't know what is wrong with Chris Pratt's promotional team. Why was this not a Father's Day film? This movie was basically a love letter to fathers. It was a love letter to fathers. And it would be a perfect Father's Day film to sit and watch with your dad, all right? Or if you have kids, you sit and watch with them. Hell, 3 generations, right? Grandfather, father, children, and you watch the movie with them. There's not a lot of potty mouth in there. Not a lot of too raunchy of sexy time going on in there. It seems to me, I was looking for Chris Pratt's name in the producers section, and I didn't find it. I definitely thought that he would be the producer of this film because it was a very this was a very Christian film. And maybe that's what attracted him to the role. Maybe this is what he wants to do from now on. And my suggestion to Chris Pratt is, Chris, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is losing uses for people like you, people who stand by their convictions, whatever life choices they happen to embrace, and people who are wholehearted. And from what I hear, you're a very nice guy. I would suggest that you embrace this movie as a franchise and sort of like a cushion in case Marvel does what it does or do what it do, kick you out that door or throw you out that window. You know what I'm saying? And you never know when that might happen. Never know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You say something they can't rationalize or get behind, especially with the people who are supposedly the tastemakers online who decide what happens with these things. Which, you know what? Just to get into that, let me go ahead and cut right into it here. if I can get this off the screen and share a very interesting article was written about the film, The Tomorrow War. And something you guys have to keep in mind is when you're seeing a lot of these criticism and they get really harsh and oddly personal, when you see these things happen, you have to understand that they hate Chris Pratt because of his Christian beliefs. They hate him. And an undertone of this film was almost an analog to the Crusades. This almost felt like a Crusader film where people who are, because we have to remember in the Crusades, it wasn't only royalty and like nobles who went to war here. Poor blacksmiths and all these different people, when the ranks started to dwindle, they pulled, the Christians and Muslims and whoever was involved in that war, they they pulled from the ranks of the normal people as well. You know, if you had any combat experience whatsoever, there's a shield in your hand, some chain mail on your chest, and you're out, out that the barn doors to go fight for God and country. And so these, because the U.S. is fundamentally a Christian country, and so much I have to discuss here. Let me just get right into it. This is what I was talking about. The Tomorrow War is Chris Pratt's ultimate salute to working class heroism plus aliens. Now, Roxana Haddadi, interesting name, is going to tell you what's wrong with making a movie that's for working class heroism. Oh, also time travel and an apocalypse, but mostly the working class heroism thing. Notice how she's undermining what they tried to do with this film. Back in 2017, fresh off the continued success of Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, this is why I'm telling you, Chris. You see, they're already tugging at Marvel and Disney's coat, saying, got to get this guy out of there. Back in 2017, fresh off the continued success of the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise and gearing up for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Chris Pratt gave a cover story interview in Men's Fitness magazine and bemoaned the state of cinema about white men. Didn't I tell you the other shoe was about to drop? See, the title and the subtitle, they were fairly innocuous, but you knew this was coming. You knew this was coming. I don't quote, I don't see personal stories that necessarily resonate with me because they're not my stories. The voice of the average blue collar American isn't necessarily represented in Hollywood, Pratt said. That was a woefully ignorant statement back then, and it still is now. Any proof? Nope. She just says it. We're supposed to swallow it up and keep moving. But maybe it helps explain what drew Pratt to the Tomorrow War, in which he plays an ex-military. I can't talk today. In which he plays an ex-military high school teacher who keeps getting passed up for private sector jobs, but who finds glory and fulfillment by returning to combat, narratively padded and visually overstuffed with CGI. No, it was just the amount of CGI I want. Look, I've been cooped up with this coof shit. Why don't you give me something that's fun and not complain about it? What's wrong with a nice action-packed CGI adventure? You like this cuckoo shit, and you like walking down the street with looking like a Mortal Kombat character. I don't enjoy it. The Tomorrow War plays out like Starship Troopers, drained of Paul Verhoeven's subversive satire. That's how angry these people got me. I'm tongue-tied. Edge of Tomorrow, devoid of Doug Liman's wry flair. Okay, we get it. You can write. Tom Cruise Battle Los Tom Cruise of course Battle Los Angeles without. Okay, she's just gonna keep. Half an aggressively sincere exploration of here we go. Half an aggressively sincere exploration of a father's relationship with his daughter, and an alien invasion movie in which the creatures rarely inspire fear because of their goofy. The creatures were terrifying. Don't listen to her. Because of their goofy design. They're sort of dog, gargoyle, scorpion, octopus things. It, I want you guys to understand that if the star of this movie were Chris Evans instead of Chris Pratt, for those of you who are not into celeb gossip and celeb things that are happening, Chris Pratt is the opposite of Chris Evans. Chris Evans is totally liberal, and I think he might be an atheist, right? And Chris Pratt bends the knee to anything that comes down the SJW pipeline. So when you have someone like Chris Pratt who stands on his square, and he says it with his chest, I'm Christian, I'm proud of it, I'm this, I'm that, this is the congregation I belong to, right? This is the church I go to, this is what they stand for, right? And I love traditional values. I love the blue collar working class. When you have someone like that, then it's war. It's war. Okay. So if the star of this film happened to be Chris Evans in all his SJW glory, she would have been writing glowingly about this film. That these creatures are not dog, gargoyle, scorpion, octopus things. They'd be, oh my God, the best thing I've ever seen since Geiger's alien design. It's amazing. It's amazing what difference an ideology makes. The Tomorrow War is only consistent in the way its narrative arc bends towards Pratt's character as the most heroic, most principled, and the most handsome. Well, I mean, he did play a heroic character, and he did have a lot of principles. And the dude is, Chris Pratt's a handsome guy. There is literally a line of dialogue directly stating that last point. The film ties the working class representation Pratt demanded in that interview with idolatry for a certain kind of if the makers of the film were looking for Chris Pratt and then they saw the interview that Chris Pratt had, that's a stroke of genius. They want that guy and they know what their film is about, so they ratchet up the working class heroism angle so they can get that guy. Again, what a difference in ideology makes. Because if it was a raging piece of liberal propaganda, an ode to atheism and transgenderism and race hatred, if that film was all those things and they flagged down Chris Evans, this woman here would be praising it. What a difference an ideology makes. What a big difference. The Tomorrow War only jolts out of its predictable mode when director Chris McKay dares to get gross. Plus, pus like green goop spurts in all directions when the aliens are shot, stabbed, impaled, hacked apart, or sliced. It's a sci-fi monster movie. She's holding all the things that make a sci-fi monster movie. She's holding against this production. The aliens gnaw off their own injured limbs to defy Earth-defending humans. Yes, and that was. Oh my God, this is getting me so mad. Look, the scene she just described here. The aliens gnaw off their own injured limbs to defy Earth's defending humans. That scene was brilliant. Once you see the movie, you'll agree with me. Helpless people fall out of a mid-air time travel portal, smashing into buildings, splattering onto the ground, and enduring horrifically meaningless deaths. By the way, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this, go ahead. I don't ever recommend leaving my channel to go elsewhere. But in this case, if you haven't seen the film, go ahead, leave this channel. Go, see it how you see it. I don't support Hollywood like that monetarily, all right? So if you have an Amazon Prime account, that's good for you. Go see it. If not, see the shit how you see it. When the Tomorrow War acknowledges how relentlessly brutal this kind of warfare is, and leans into that with the scenes that emphasize aliens' voraciousness and society's powerlessness, it provides a good counterbalance to the film's narcissism around its own protagonist. They keep saying this. They keep saying that there's something wrong with Chris Pratt's working class hero. So I'm not going to read the rest of a propaganda piece here, but I do want to focus on this image here. This image says a lot to me as a black nerd who's tired of tokenism. This is not tokenism. Uh, when you walk through America, right? I've been in a fairly decent amount of places in America. When you take a selfie or you take a snapshot of the place, like, hey, here I am in Montana, like you stand and then you're in the foreground and things are behind you. At any given time, right? You take a selfie. It's random. There's not this bullshit they keep showing you in movies where that's all right. There are three white people. There's one Asian, one black, one Hispanic, and they keep repeating the formula until you're like, God, can you cast based on merit? Can you finally do that? So in this movie, anytime at all, one of the things I enjoyed about this film, anytime at all you take a snapshot or a still of this movie, it's randomized races. Randomized. And this random still here, it happens to be three black people in there. And even one, the lady to Chris Pratt's right, an LGBT person. And the thing is, this was an LGBT and trans person, and they did not need to drive it into our skull with a screwdriver. They didn't need to do that. We got it. She didn't need to say, well, I got my wife waiting home. She didn't need to do anything like that. What they keep doing in Marvel Comics, where every single black woman in Marvel Comics is a black lesbian who falls in love with the first woman in the first few panels of the story. They didn't need to drive it home like that. We saw it, we got it, and that's it. I'm shocked. One of the jokes in there was supposedly, if we go by SJW logic, it's a transphobic joke because she actually from far away, when she had said something snide to one of the characters along with Chris Pratt, and from far away, when she's laying down on a beach chair inside of a base, she, again, spoiler alert, I'm so sorry. She flashes double middle fingers. And when she does that, the black guy who's with Pratt, black guy's like, "Hey, I think it's flipping us off." And Chris is like, I think she's flipping us off. The other dude didn't know because she's got a shaved head. She's doing more push-ups than him, and she's walking around, top, what do you call it, top heavy. For those of you who are not into art too much, when you draw, if you're drawing a male character, the center point, the center of gravity, you go up top with that V. That V when women like to see you walk the fuck away. You know what I'm saying? The top broad shoulders is that base of an inverted triangle, right? And then it tapers off to your waistline at the bottom, right? So with dudes, you start like that, and then with women, it's the triangle in its traditional sense, but it's towards the buttocks towards the waist, up towards the waist. Anyhow, she's walking around like a dude in there. So he didn't know. He honestly didn't know. So he kept on saying it's. Oh, he said it's one time. Now the thing is, it's meant to be like a little joke, and I'm waiting. I have a countdown like in my head, like how many days until the SJW, liberal, let's cancel everybody network picks on that, be like, wait a minute, we missed this. And if they missed it, then they didn't really watch this whole film. A lot of these people, they watch the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of a film, and then they give their, well, da 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 da. So which is which. If they do say something about it, this was coming. If they don't, they didn't watch this film. Anyhow, one of the things that makes them very angry about this movie is that it represented everyone equally, not in terms of the amount of time everyone had on screen. It represented everyone in terms of respect. No one was disrespected in this film. The black males were not castrated, neutered, and made ineffectual. They weren't made fun of. One second here. They weren't made fun of. Sorry about that. Lost the sound for a second. And the wives in this film, get this, there were some traditional ones. And wait. There's more. They had healthy amounts of respect for the men around them. The husbands, they respected them. The brothers, they respected them. The father figures, the grandfathers, they respected them. This was not like a show like Jessica Jones, where a legit military expert is told to shut the fuck up because women are speaking about a mission they're poorly planning. The blue collar heroism thing is something else I'd like to touch upon. In this film, like I said, everyone was properly represented. Every character. Let me see if I can't get my screen back up here. They had black women on there who, while they were tough, you know, it's an action movie, but they had softness to them. And they didn't ugly them down in favor of white women. They had fat white men in there. I'm talking flyover country white men. They properly represented them. They were not MAGA hat wearing, tobacco spitting, Confederacy flag waving, N-word yelling. No, they were heroic. So a movie that brought everyone together here is what these ultra liberals are angry about. A movie that didn't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, blue, purple eaters from Mars, robots from Venus. Didn't care if you were straight, gay, if you like to, you know, have sex with Build-A-Bears. They did not give a fuck in this movie. Whoever you are, you got respect. And since movies nowadays are vehicles by which, or even weapons by which the ultra political left get to attack their enemies, they had a huge problem with it and expect more hit pieces like that. Even though there's an army of, I mean, if you go on Twitter, everyone is happy with this film. They're like, it was great fun. And I'm not totally unaware that this movie's coming and just in the nick of time because people are cooped up in their houses, right? The George Floyd thing's died down, so nobody's really out there protesting anymore. Everyone's home, right? So we don't want to stay cooped up in the houses anymore. So I get that might be a factor of everyone enjoying a popcorn-like film, popcorn and soda film. But it bears repeating that these people found a unifying film where people got together to fight on behalf of the human species. They found that problematic. A film, and they said in one of the taking a step back to let Chris Pratt shine. He's the star of the film. It's his vehicle. But as you can see here, everyone had their time to shine. Like this brother here with the red shirt, badass. Once you watch the movie, you'll see what makes him badass. It's not totally like grounds what his motivations are. But get this: no black person in this film were using ghetto speak, were speaking poorly, were had bad attitudes, nor did they hate white people, nor did they complain about slavery. All these black people were their own characters. They didn't have baggage. No one here, black, white, or anything, had chips on their shoulders. And it's very hard for many of these people, these 12 or 15 psychos on Twitter, to wrap their heads around, like, hey, you know what? Maybe a group of people from all different walks of life can get together and fight for a common goal without their past traumas or their past chips on the shoulder getting into it. Okay? And I'm being a black nerd myself. One of the things before I open up the panel to get their opinions on this, one of the things I'm very happy with, being a black nerd myself, is the amount of respect this movie paid to black intelligence. There are probably four scientific revelations in this film, and I kid you not, three of them were made by black people. This is the movie they're angry with. This is the movie they're angry with. A film where the three black people you see on the screen, and they're not the only ones. Remember, this one's black. There are a few other black people. They're all, high IQ people. Speak intelligently. No one say, "Hey, what up, dog?" No one's speaking like that there. Nothing wrong with speaking like that, but we're tired of that trope, of that stereotype. This film broke stereotype in terms of the way black people speak and interact with white people and other races, as well as black intelligence on display. And again, just before I open up the panel, this was a perfect Father's Day film because I'm looking at the ring on the father's guy on the screen on the right, that black man's finger. He has the wedding ring. These black men were family men. They were not playing into the stereotype. Well, most white people don't know their dad. You know what I'm saying? No, 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 no. These were loving black fathers. Okay, and this guy married with a daughter, and he's doing this for his daughter's safety, just like Chris Pratt is. So this was a huge. And here's another father angle. Both of these men you see on the screen are flyover state men, right? The people that every time you turn the channels on for like MSNBC, CNN, CBS, ABC, whenever you see these channels turn on, they're taking a dump over flyover country men. They're saying, well, they're the reason why Trump was elected. The flyover states. We know that's where that's a Klan hub. You have to understand that's where the Ku Klux Klan, the neo-Nazis, the neo-Confederates, the Confederacies, that's where they all hid. And the Bible Belt, where they're super homophobic and transphobic. These people that they collectively lump into a mass, they're flyover country, quote unquote, people. And this guy here, Chris Pratt's father, I'm so sorry, spoiler alert, Chris Pratt's father, he is there was a little bit of stereotype to him, which was that he didn't trust the government and he believed in conspiracy theories and all these different things. However, everything else about him was top notch, even though he was kind of a deadbeat dad, but that's because his job came first, right? Chris Pratt found a healthy balance, between seeking his jobs and, being there for his daughter. But this guy here was all about, fighting. He was all about the fight, and he proved it too. By the way, J.K. Simmons, I need your workout regimen, bro. J.K. Simmons was looking jacked. That dude, he's eating his Wheaties, definitely. That dude was ripped, right? Under that vest is doing him no favors. He was ripped under there, and again, his relationship with his son, there's room for redemption. That's another aspect of Christianity that was reflected in this film. Redemption and forgiveness, right? All these different Christ-like things were in this film, and the chasm between these two men as father and son, it got bridged over the course of the story. This was a beautiful story, okay? And all the other things that they said, Gonna open up the lines right now. All the different things they said about the CGI being bad. No, CGI was fantastic. So I'm gonna open up the lines here for all the panelists. I see we got a full house. Greg Levitt, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Bro Tap? And
All right.
hail everybody out there.
Yeah, hail all the panelists. Hail everyone who's in the chat. Lord Sandwich, what's going on?
Hey, hey, hey!
Dan World War Hell, what's going on?
What's up, folks?
Here's another father here, just for good measure. Michael Keaton and Spider-Man Far From Home, was it? Or hold on, who else is here? Jose Negron, what's going on, Jose?
Good evening, Bro Tap. Good evening, everybody.
All right.
What's up, Jose? Good to see you.
Likewise.
Hold on, we got a couple of. We have Fiscozo. I don't know who this is, but you're definitely welcome on this panel.
It's Fishozo.
Fishozo, all right.
What's up, Fizz?
So, what's going? How do you guys feel about the? Sure.
I
Go ahead.
know,
What do you want to know?
watched the movie soon on my phone. I didn't see it yet, but I do know. Okay, the it's Chris Pratt.
You're roboting really bad.
You sound a little bit like you're underwater. Can you do us a favor and unplug your mic really quickly and then plug it back in? See if that fixes it.
Okay.
All right, give us a mic check now. Fizz, can you hear me? All right, we'll get back to Fizz in a minute. Greg Levitt, if I'm not revealing too much here, you're a father, yes?
Yeah.
How do you feel about kind of like the major father themes in this film? I don't know if you've seen it yet because you're kind of still boycotting Hollywood, yes?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't really watch anything except for older stuff. I have no interest.
Okay.
But
Well,
I would go for a good sci-fi romp, you know. I do think it's important to show fathers in a positive light for a change, to start countering the psyops that's been going on for it's been a few decades now.
Yes.
To completely revamp the whole family court system to prey on men, basically. So it would be nice once in a while if men were fathers were shown in a positive light, and also maybe women shown as abusive as well. You know, try to balance it out a little bit.
I know.
You're still fucked up, Fizz.
it's still a little bubbly. It sounds like you're speaking through a tub of champagne. Blub, 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 blub. How about now? Gets say Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, you're still bubbly. Can you restart your computer?
No.
Restart your computer. Hit us back up.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that, man. But let's move on back to the panel here. But let me see, Lord Sandwich, what do you think about these themes here with this film?
Well, I think it is a massive threat to the narrative they continually peddle out for their pedophile masters.
Short and sweet, to the point.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Short, sweet to the point. Because the thing is, one of the things that I'm watching this and I saw the themes get repeated over and over and over, and it only strengthened it. A lot of times when you do these things in a film, you run the risk of hitting a horse, beating a dead horse here. But they built up to it. It ratcheted up. I'm like, oh, there's another father doing this, making this ultimate sacrifice for his kids, and then you go back to another scene and it's like, oh, and it's J.K. Simmons and Chris Pratt and they're mending, and both men were trying, by the way. That's the other thing too, where a lot of times with these sorts of representations of fatherhood in the usual films, they show only one side is trying. Only one side is trying to mend the fence. But in this film, everyone was, basically good. And it showed there was enough villainy on the alien side to balance it out, to make everyone that was human, a stand-up person. I really appreciated this film, and it kind of reminded me of what you're doing with World War Hell, which is you're showing. If I'm not venturing into spoiler territory too much here with some
No, go
elements,
ahead.
right? Which what you're doing is showing that humanity has to come together at some point. You know what I mean? And you're showing uh some Germans, some Russians, people who we traditionally as Americans think of as the enemy, and suddenly we have a real enemy out there, coming from the gates of hell, and we have to band together as one human species, despite all religion and race and ethnicity and all these different things, to the core of who we are, and then we band together. And once once I realized that that's what this film was doing, and I was happy about it. And then I finished watching the film, and and then I read these articles. I'm like, okay, so it's very clear what these people are trying to do here. It's very clear. This movie came out with good intentions, and it's not a perfect film by any means. It's not a perfect film. There were a lot of plot holes in there, and the way they explain time travel. On one hand, I'm happy that they didn't try to beat us over the head with, techno babble. But on the other hand, I would have needed a little bit more science behind how they approach quantum mechanics and quantum physics. But that's just a nerd in me. I'll let that slide. I'm a big picture kind of guy. You know, uh, Jose, what do you think of all this?
So we have a situation where we have a film where it's nothing negative. It's pro everything,
Yeah.
and no group is denigrated, and there's mutual respect for everybody involved. Am I correct?
Yes. From what I saw, yes.
So apparently the slow taps, the Hispano taps, the mentally and intellectually challenged people and everything else in between has issue about it because Maronite people are not denigrated. White people are not downgraded.
Yep.
The LGBTQ plus community is not denigrated. So people have issues with that. And the fact that one of the key actors is a Christian,
Yeah.
whoa, that's like
Yeah.
forbidden territory.
This cannot stand. This cannot stand. You know. And the thing is, you can see the undertone of them attacking Chris. Because of his Christian beliefs and his traditionalism too, because he believes in the working class, the blue collar. Can anyone tell me what the problem is that this woman, Roxana Habidi or whatever her name was, wrote the article? Can anyone let me know, because I'd like to understand what her problem is. Can anyone on this panel let me know what the problem is with a working class hero?
Yeah, yeah, that's simple.
Mhm.
All the psyops right now in the media and entertainment is all slave psyops, not working
Ah,
class psyops. So we don't want those kind of people anymore in the world. By we, I
okay.
mean a very small amount of people in the world that decide what we all want and everything. So right now, that they don't want heroes. It's in fact, that's the last thing they want is alpha male champions stepping up and saying "fuck your Agenda 2030 bullshit, assholes."
Hmm.
And that's absolutely the last thing they want. So yeah, can't have that. Can't have unity between the groups that they're working so hard to pit against each other. That just undoes a lot of their work,
Exactly.
So
Well,
Yeah. A lot of their hard work has just been flushed down the drain.
they've been trying to destabilize family units in the entire country socially for decades now,
And
and
then
succeeding.
Oh shit! Oh wait! Good point, Greg. This film was pro family, not just pro fatherhood. This film was pro family. Uh, in
Uh,
fact, I'm sorry.
excuse me.
Go ahead, Jose.
So you mean we're talking about like a healthy family where there's loving parents involved, where the
Yes,
children are not addicted to drugs or anything, or they're
yes.
not promiscuous and they're
Hmm.
not drunk and what have you, and they're not getting into trouble with the law? You mean such a family exists?
They're not all trans and depressed.
And depressed, and they're not all into crime.
And,
They
uh,
had
and don't
they had.
forget, and don't
Mhm.
forget the snowflakes that are drinking their $5 cappuccino, complaining how bad America is. You know,
Yeah.
I'm referring to our friend Guillermo, who says the United States is
America
not a
must
legitimate
die.
country, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's sucking on the teat of the great Satan and
Yeah.
prospering.
You know. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the person who Jose just referenced here, it's a gentleman who came on the show. Everyone is welcome on the show to share their viewpoints. You know, depending on if you come in bad faith, though, that determines whether you get invited back. All right. But this this guy came on here and basically said like, death to America. It almost burned. Like, whoa. That's not. I mean, I don't know what he thought this platform was, but that's not what this platform is. That was pretty funny. And we all kind of looked at him like, all right, fam. All right, fam, you only like stay in that corner right there. Like I don't really kick nobody off the show unless they do something to try to get the channel taken down or something. But you just don't get invited back no more.
What did I miss?
No. It's I was just giving more information as to who Jose was referencing with the
Oh,
guy
okay.
death to America, that guy. But
Well,
Oh, okay.
basically,
and by the way, taking
yeah.
advantage of everything we have here, taking advantage of the school system, the welfare system. He said he was on welfare or something like that, right? Jose, didn't he say he was on public
No,
assistance?
he said he was prospering and he was getting everything that you can get. Now,
Okay.
if you truly believe that the United States is the great Satan, then your solution is get a one-way ticket
Yep.
to anywhere in the world and see if you was prosper as well. In fact, I got a suggestion. Maybe we should start a GoFundMe fund for Guillermo
Yep.
for a one-way ticket to anywhere in the world so he can leave.
Get Guillermo going. Fund me.
Yes.
Fund.
Shit,
get
he could.
get Guillermo going.
Shit, he
Yo.
could either go north and south to Canada and Mexico and ask for political asylum.
There you go. Yeah, go ask. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's not even. I don't even think that he meant death to America. I think he meant death to like Western civilization, because that's a lot of the characters we get here, where they call all of you guys who, or at least some of you guys who are on this panel, they call you Anglos and all these different sorts of things. And so Anglos and Gringos, etc. So it's not even. I mean, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but you're absolutely correct, Greg, that this was also a family film. Families were very well represented in this movie, and very positive lights. And the women in there, female empowerment's another aspect of this movie where um, this woman here is in command. I won't spoil who she is, but she's in command in this film. And the relationships that she has with the men around her and the men in her past, it's glowingly respectful. And it's a breath of fresh air in a room full of farts, right? With all of this stuff that they've been, pushing on us in this past to get women to hate men, to have this person, this character here, like she trusts them to do their job, and they do their jobs, and she respects them and praises them when they get a job well done, right? She mourns them when they pass away in the line of duty, right? all these things that are missing in a series like Jessica Jones. And
Oh,
movie. Wait, somebody said, "Oh, who's that?"
I hate Jessica Jones.
Oh, you hated. Oh, you hated Jessica Jones, Fisco.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I hated it. It was
Was that
awful.
kiss?
Ugh.
But Dan, sorry,
What's
man,
up?
I kind of skipped over you. Can we get your input on this?
Well, the big thing that I like about this movie, I haven't seen it yet, but I've really made me interested, is that when it comes down to it, like World War Hell, when shit hits the fan,
Hmm.
it doesn't matter what you believe in or anything like that. You're going to band together. And what happens is a lot of times is when you get a common foe and you get close to that person you think you hate, you find out you have a lot more in common with them than you have against them.
Yep.
And that's what I think a lot of people. That's why a lot of people that go into the military when they come out, a lot of them are pretty tight, with their comrades. No matter if they're black, white, Hispanic, or whatever. I mean, they, in the U.S. Army, you're equally trash. when you get there.
That was another angle to this. Obviously, this movie is highly pro military. In fact, you know what? This movie, there's so many things I can say about this movie. I really, really liked it. If that's not clear already, but the pro America feeling that this movie gave off, it's a pro American film, and many of the usual suspects on Twitter were unhappy with that because everything must burn, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things seemed seemed shout out to the DR, Dominican Republic. One of the bases on there, again, sorry, spoiler alerts, one of the bases on there where they make their last stand, their last resistance, is in the Dominican Republic. I think it's called Puerta Plata, maybe. I don't know how to pronounce it, but beautiful beach, and they had all their encampments on there, and their vehicles and stuff. So shout out to the DR. You showed up in two major franchises already, with Dom from Fast and the Furious #9 being alluded to being Dominican, because I thought it was solidified, but then now they're saying like he's mixed with a whole lot of other ethnicities. But with him being at least part Dominican, and then now with this major movie here, your homeland being the last bastion, to hold off in the future, the last bastion to hold off an alien invasion. So shout out to the DR. Um, One of the things I was very happy about was the militaristic aspect of this film, where they gave respect to the military, but not at the expense of civilians. Like, oh, these civilians can't do anything. No, they gave respect to civilians, but not at the expense of military trained people. And one of the things about the woman who's still on the screen here is, get this, she wanted to grow up to be just like her dad, and she did. And it's
A
like
female
mind
character
blown.
outlives the male character.
I'm sorry, what?
A female character who outlives the
Yeah,
male one
female
to better.
characters. Yeah, they're not allowed to respect and admire men. And also, I caught a few of these stragglers still going on out there about the Bechdel test, as if it hasn't been blown to pieces at this point. And you know what the other thing is about the Bechdel test? Alison Bechdel, the originator of the Bechdel test, he she, I'm sorry, I misgendered her. She said, and she's not transgender, by the way. It's just that was an honest pronoun mistake. She meant that as a legit joke. She was fucking kidding. It was a joke. And then these people ran with it like, no, 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 no. This ridiculous thing you said just to get a couple laughs. Yeah, we need to totally hunker down and make it happen. All aboard, what's going on? All aboard, you're muted, I believe. Okay, when All Aboard gets her mic back, Up. Lord Okage, do you have any input on what we got going on here?
Yeah, I saw the movie last night, man. It's really good. I liked it. I think the problem is what a lot of these I'm calling these characters on Twitter is that they hate the things that they are, right? Like
Mm,
it's like the politician that hates gay people, right? And you find out
okay.
he has like an old boyfriend, right? That he's been sleeping with for like
Mhm.
years. And I think that's what you really have with a lot of these people. They live the life that they're pretty much criticizing, you know what I mean, to the world, saying that this is bad, we don't like this is no good, while the whole time they're benefiting from that lifestyle, right? Like I thought the movie had like a pretty good message, right? Because it was apparent that the movie was very America, like America first, but it never said that. It never, I don't even think it
Hey,
even
baby girl.
mentioned America, right? It was very pro military and it didn't really like talk about it. It just showed you like it showed you the case to have a strong military, right? Why a strong military is so important in
Yes.
society, right? It
Hmm.
showed you it didn't talk about like why men are so important, but it showed you the depths in which men go through to essentially take care of their family, right?
Yes.
And do things for their family. And it shows you men that were flawed as well, because if you look at Chris Pratt's father, he was an inherently flawed individual, right? And he was
Yes.
open and honest and truthful about
Yeah.
his flaws. He never hid it. He didn't hide it, right? And Chris Pratt was also a flawed person for not trying to understand his father's flaws, right? So the
Yeah.
movie I thought was pretty good. There was some problems here and there, but like I thought it was really funny at times, and really like the action was pretty on point, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And you touched on something very important there with how honest these characters were. There are a lot of times when Chris Pratt said something to his dad that he thought would be funny, which is kind of like a like a roast or something like that. And immediately upon saying it, he knows it. He fucked up. That no, like I shouldn't have said that or whatever. And it's very subtle acting and very subtle screenwriting, but I appreciated it because a lot of times when screenwriters do something, or writers in general, comic writers or whatever. I'm sure you probably experienced this a lot, Greg, where you'd write something you're like, not people aren't gonna get this. Like you slip a tiny little thing in there, you're like, they're not gonna get this, and then the one guy who gets it, you're like, someone got it, you know. So I appreciate things like that in fictional writing, you know. But let me see, who else did I not? All aboard. How's your mic going?
How's my mic doing?
Oh, very good. All right.
Oh no, my battery died on my computer. Hi everyone,
Oh,
how
that's
are you?
cool.
How you guys doing?
Hey, how's it
Hello.
going?
Going.
Good evening, all aboard.
How you doing, Jose? Hi, Protep. Hi
Oh, I'm
everyone.
fine,
All
thank
right.
you.
Um, I have an opinion on it on the top.
Absolutely.
I
And
think
you can totally disagree with everything that was said here, by the way. This is that kind of platform. Remember.
well, there's a couple things. I think that healthy relationships should always be promoted because when you
Right.
see something that's that becomes the norm when it's when a healthy relationship is normalized that
Yes.
that definitely influences um, popular culture, and then that passes down to the home, to that's a fact. But what I would say is that I don't want to get into the territory of just hiding the fact that me as a woman who is in business and who works in a lot, I work in different areas that are male dominated. It's not all happy go lucky and it's sweet as was depicted, in that show. Not to
Well,
say that
the
this
film.
always happen that way.
I'll bet you money if aliens attacked us suddenly and guys grabbed guns, we'd all be getting along really well,
Real quick.
real fast. That's
Yep.
how guys are. Guys might argue with each
Yeah,
other, they
but
might fist fight, but when a crisis situation kicks in, we're best buddies.
well, the great thing is like guns are the great equalizer, So I'm very pro Second Amendment. But
But let me ask you, you found that in the film the women were getting too well along too well with the men in there?
no, I don't think so. I think that it's just um a little bit unrealistic because I've experienced so many things working with men. Like, and at one point, I was working in kitchens. I was a sous chef in a restaurant, and constantly being sabotaged, having people set you up so that you end up getting your hand sliced, or like there's like so much sabotage by the men, and you would never believe that a man would tell you to get out of the kitchen.
Those aren't men. Those are cunts.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like being cursed at, being
those aren't men.
disrespected, being like sexually harassed. It's a very common thing when you're dealing with men. So I would suggest, if you want a traditional family, provide for your women and make sure they don't have to be in those spaces, because it's a very intimidating space. But if they're promoting healthy relationships, healthy families, that should have just as much, and I would say more.
Where in the film, if you think of the timeline in the film, timeline being a provisional term in a film that deals with quantum physics, but where in the timeline of this film would you insert, men being sexist and all these things towards
Well,
women?
no, I'm saying that the fact that it's left out is kind of unrealistic.
I mean,
What city is this that you worked at that place?
yeah, like
I've even lived in hoods where that's not really.
No, it's not even a hood thing. It's a male thing. I've worked in
No,
I've worked in New York City. I've worked in Miami.
it's not a male thing.
So
and you think men naturally sabotage women when they're in a male space?
I think that men can be intimidated. Well, let's just talk about right here on this platform, right?
Okay.
So I was one of the few women that actually jumps on the panels and speaks. And I was attacked and drugged for my life. And very few men spoke up to say a word when people were saying that they were going to rape me. And they said,
whoa. I'm not sure that was said on this platform that you were going to get.
not on this channel, but in this.
Yeah. We don't do that shit over here.
No. And that's why I come back to your panel versus the other panels where, that's why I divested from those panels, because some of the same people do visit your panel as well. But like, let's not pretend that we have this utopia, because I've seen me and other women that actually have channels and try to speak up and be, voice their opinions. We get ran through the mud. We get threatened. Our partners get threatened. It's like complete violence. And very few men actually stand up and say a word.
So then you have equality then, because we get that too.
Cool. Okay, so
everybody does though. Gay, straight, white, black, male, female.
Excuse me, because it's not equality, and you're also interrupting. But I'll address what you just said. Equality, that isn't equality when they're like right now on this panel, there's one woman, right? I'm assuming. I'm not gonna assume anyone's gender, whatever. But there's one woman. So equality doesn't mean violence, because the difference being, and I know that the other people can speak up to this. When I would defend myself on these panels, I would be met with an onslaught. I'm talking like 5 people and then multiple people in the chat, which is fine. Do that, because I have my equalizer, and this is just the internet. But don't say that it's equality because someone's being abused.
That was a joke, right? I didn't literally mean equality. I'm just saying everybody gets attacked.
Everybody gets that. Yeah.
Everybody gets fucked.
Equal left, equal right.
Let me ask you something.
Equal rights.
All right, let me ask you something. How many women would you want on here for this to be equal?
No, because there's some women that I don't even get along with and I don't respect. So it's not about them being women. What I'm saying is, when you have men who are like, literally, Denise was told that she was going to be punched in the face and thrown downstairs, and I didn't see any of this
Yeah, but that's them dudes there. That's them dudes over there. Let me ask you something. How warmly did they receive me? for disagreeing with them on anything like video games, like comics, right? Basically, remember I'm that gay loser, because I review comics. I'm gay now.
But in the same
All,
way that,
all of a sudden, just like that, I'm gay.
but in the same way that women like myself and Denise have defended you or other people like Truth Teacher when they've
Yeah,
been
and I
attacked.
defended you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're not, but I don't know why you're taking it personally. I'm not
no,
talking
no,
like
no,
that.
no. It's not personal. I'm saying like those people you're describing, their natural selection is gonna take care of them.
All right,
Like
but I don't know. This is not like
their nature's leftovers.
right.
Like you don't even need to fuck with them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like life will hand them what they deserve. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mentioned that because he asked me what cities this took place in.
Oh, okay.
It's not just a East Coast versus West Coast. This is an issue that exists in human society, and there can be several reasons for that. Like me personally, I am a traditionalist, right?
Right.
I'm a traditionalist. I believe in a solid family, like a nuclear family. I believe in two-parent households. But then after that, if it's not my household, I don't give a damn. Like if you want to have your your two husbands or your two wives, whatever you guys want to do, as long as it doesn't affect my life, I don't care. Right?
That sounds more like you're a libertarian.
No, I would
Um,
definitely not be considered a
no.
libertarian.
Okay.
So here's the thing. What you're doing is you're judging an entire gender based on the worst members of it, and they are not the majority, nor are they the norm. Okay, we have a lot of weirdos, both male and female, right now in the world. The media has been creating weebs. Who are? I mean, you might think, oh, weebs, they're just dumb, harmless, retarded. We make fun of them. They're memes. Well, those are the types that are like most likely to be like molesters and things like that. Like we have these type of cultures that are creating furries, like people who have to wear they have to hump a teddy bear suit to get off, or we have other people who have to hump a whole group of people at once to get off. Okay, so we have all. My turn.
Not to interrupt you, but since you interrupted
So we have all of these different types of people that we could actually
all aboard. Everyone spoke.
No, because
we have all of
I got
these
my
types.
pass to interrupt him back, and I would say that furries and all those people, that's a small minority. So that was my one chance to interrupt you. I'm gonna let it go after that.
All right.
Excuse me, bro, Tef, can I just chime in for a second?
Absolutely, God.
No,
Okay,
Radical, you're interrupting him.
Okay, first of all, in this case, I'm going to defend abort. Okay, first of all, she's not anti-men. She's like anti-toxic men, and that's not. And let's keep it real. There are some, and in fact, and in one stream with the niche, Oba spoke positive about me. It's just that, she just cannot stand toxic men. Oh, boy, am I wrong in there or something, or am I correct?
Who can?
You're correct. I love men.
Who can stand toxic people in general? I mean, that's why they're toxic.
Okay, well, you know what? If you don't want to hear my opinion, you don't have to listen to it, okay?
What's all the hostility tonight, by the way?
No,
we all interrupt each other and interject on here, and we talk about stuff.
I'm stating an opinion.
Okay, hold on, Greg. Let him get his piece out, and then Greg, you can have the floor.
Not stopping him.
To respond to not only all aboard, but to respond to Jose as well.
I was agreeing with Jose right there, by the way. I don't know what the deal is. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay, as I was saying before, now I have interacted with all aboard a few times. Okay, and one thing I can say is that she's not anti-men. She's anti-toxic men. And to be perfectly honest, we should both be anti-toxic people, period. Because we don't need toxic men. We don't need toxic women either. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, so
you don't
like
Greg,
bad people. All right. So, and I agree. I absolutely 100% agree. Now, here's how you create good people is you show positive examples of good men,
Yep.
like people who sacrifice for their children, and they exist. And in fact, in crisis situations, you're going to see what a real man is. You're going to see a little weeby pussy soy boy cunt run off, or the guys like all aboard was describing, these little backstabbing little manipulative cunts. You're going to see them run and scream, and then you're going to see men come together and do things. And you look around at all these examples. I never said any of you guys were anti-men, anti-women, blah 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 blah. There's a lot of assumptions going on here. What my problem is simply, I don't judge all black people or all women by the shit-tards that are black and female. And whenever people do this with men, by the way, it's a common practice, and I have suffered personally for it in this society as it. And I don't sit around and cry about, I'm a man. I am a man, man, right? I don't. I'm not. It's not drama, right? I'm not an issue. We're all fucked right now at this point in time. But the point is this: I've lived all over this country. I've mixed with about every fucking type of person that ever stepped into this fucking border of this goddamn country, and that's a lot of nations. People from different nations. The norm is that people are mostly good. Now, would you take people who have abusive drug addict parents, whether they're male or female, and you beat them when they're children, you fucking beat them, and you molest and you rape them, you create monsters. And we have right now a society that is traumatizing people psychologically as if they were raised that way.
Kicker.
And, the reason I asked you what region you were in is those types of behaviors like that, those are typically very regional. Okay. Like I've met assholes all over every city has dicks. Every city has thieves, people who fuck around on their partners, whatever, violent people, right? They're never the norm, ever. Even in the hood, the worst hoods. I've lived in the hood in New Orleans, which was the murder capital and police brutality capital of the United States. Most of the people were good, nice people that would help you. Okay, but they had that Leroy you got to watch out for here and there.
I'm just curious. Do you call all groups shit-tards, or is it only when you speak about black people? Because that was just a weird, kind of a slur, or just I don't know.
No. That's not. I mean, shit-tard is not anything race-based. I
don't know, because it's like black people, Leroy, shit-tards.
Can I say something right quick? Hello.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Radical Latino, welcome to the panel.
Hey, what's up? Just for the sake of argument, I am going to identify right now as a woman. And if you don't respect that, then I'll call you a racist, and I'll be justified to do so. No, no. I see what Other Board was saying. And I also understand what I believe, was it Greg? Is it Greg? I also see what he was saying as well. There are going to be bad apples in every community, but also we shouldn't use those examples of bad apples to justify a prejudice, or gender-based prejudice on just a whole group. With that being said, I haven't seen the movie whatsoever, but I am hearing some positive things about it. About a positive male image. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I'm hearing. Am I pretty much in the right base?
Yep. Yeah. Very positive male image, but not just positive male image. It's just that it's in direct contradiction to what or at cross purposes with what else is being pushed out there. So that's why we noticed it. But it's not just positive male imagery in there, positive female imagery too. If I can given a second here to show this character here, amazing. She's the first heroic figure, period, that you see. I'm sorry, spoiler alert. The first actual heroic figure you see, and basically the Uncle Sam wants you kind of figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and nigga, I wanted to get up like when she came through and she gave that call to action. I wanted to go grab my AK, my M4. You know what I'm saying? Very positive female representation, and she was still soft though. Even
Got
though
it.
at first she was hard, but then she was still soft and feminine.
Yeah.
Especially towards the ending,
They
and
they they found the right they found the right balance.
the
Let's
right
say.
balance,
Got
yes.
it. Got it.
And then the central female figure in terms of like the action person, like the
Yeah.
foil to Chris Pratt, was this woman here, right? And she again way positive male representation, representation, where she's a warrior and a scholar, and she's still soft, she's
Yeah.
still vulnerable. This was an amazing representation of every look, if you see yourself represented in this film in any way, you will not be disappointed. Even the LGBTQIA contingent, I don't see what they'll have in terms of, hey, what the hell you guys are doing,
Got it.
because
Got it.
because
As a
here,
social justice
um
warrior, as a social
mhm,
justice warrior, I
go
don't
ahead.
like that you chose the white woman as the softest and most capable.
Yeah, but she,
I'm
no, but she
joking,
wasn't the
just a joke.
softest. I didn't say she was the
Jokes, jokes,
softest.
jokes.
You know. Yeah. Actually, the women who stayed home, the traditionalist women, they were really the softest ones
And
there.
also
Mhm.
as a identified female, I'm gonna take what all the board said as serious and
Yeah.
not take it as a joke. No,
I
no, this is
respect that.
no,
Yeah.
but I see what you're saying. Again, I haven't seen the movie, but
Yeah.
I'm hearing that there is some a positive representation. The thing is
Hmm.
that I'm kind of confused on why there is a backlash from the SJWs.
Okay,
Yeah. That camp.
I would like
Because
to
Mhm.
it's a
say
white
something on that.
man in the lead. That's the only reason why.
I
Because
would
if
like to
Yeah.
Chris Pratt would have stayed home and his wife would have got drafted, it would have been
Yeah.
like the
Oh
greatest
yeah.
thing since
Oh.
sliced bread,
Well,
right?
Oh.
let's talk about the
Applause.
actual military.
Strong
But
whammon.
But let's talk about
but
the actual military. This is the truth because this is so
Mhm.
nice. I think that when you put things, like I said in the beginning, when you take art, it can become reality. It shapes the narrative for what can become. But the current situation is this: women specifically are raped. Oh, sorry, are assaulted at a very high level in the military.
oh
Women
my god,
also have bad behavior, not to take away from them. A lot of them, not everyone is sexually assaulted, but there's a high level of it in the military. There's a
no,
high
it's not. That's not true. I was in the
no.
military. That's not true.
Oh, not by you. So why do you guys have to take sharp classes? Why do you have to take sharp?
That doesn't. Have you ever taken a sharp class?
Oh, you don't know my background, so you tell me. So
Have
you're
you ever
saying
taken a sharp class? I'm
because there's
asking you.
literally statistics
It's a
on it.
question.
That's right.
No,
You're a man, and you should shut the hell up. All right.
I can't with you, right?
No, but
Dangler
there's
boy.
literally okay. So who are you guys
But it's not
assaulting? Is it
happening at a high rate. It happens, right? I'm not denying
okay,
that,
let me be
but it
specific. It
doesn't
happens
happen
at
at
a
a high
higher.
rate.
It
So I
happens
think
at a higher rate.
I
It
think you
happens
need
at a higher
to.
rate than normal society. Is that fair?
Okay, there's a reason why though,
Okay,
right?
but that's not what I said.
No, but you're saying you're making it seem that it happens at a high
I mean,
rate. A high rate means that it happens more
a
than it
higher
doesn't
rate
happen.
than civilian society. Is that fair?
Okay, so all right, I will acquiesce to that statement.
Okay, well then, Kayate. Now
No,
go.
Kayate, nothing. Show me respect like I showed you respect. You want equality? I'll give you that equality. And back
All
to your
right.
I
earlier
don't speak
statement,
reggaeton. Stop speaking reggaeton.
Okay,
reggaeton.
but women in the actual military are not. Well, see, there's two sides to it. I could say that women are not actually being shot at as often, which is a plus. Like, women are not in roles that are as dangerous for the most part. But I can also say that there are other things that are negative, like sexual assault, just being straight disrespected and not like being able to control your like being able to control men is difficult. Men don't want to listen to women. Let's be real. Like
Well, why should a woman have to control men?
because
It's
like if
not
she's
that
in a position
men
of
don't want to
authority,
listen to women.
if
Men
she's
don't
in a
want to
position
listen
of
to
authority.
people.
We've all been
No,
sitting here listening to you for quite a while.
thank you.
Oh yeah, but I just joined. And
It's
we
not
listened to
that
you for
men
quite a
don't want to
while.
listen to women. It's that men don't like to listen to people who are weaker than them, right?
Mm.
So if you place an individual in a position.
I'm a pretty strong woman, by the
less
way.
competent and
Wait.
weaker than you are. You have to earn that level of trust and respect from
Can you
your.
be mentally stronger, or can you be mentally stronger, or does that not count? Is it just
Yes,
physical?
you can, and it has to
Okay,
be
well then
earned.
shut up.
No, don't tell
No,
me
you're
to shut
wrong.
up. And to your point earlier, when you said men disrespected you and other women on the panel, this
No,
is what
you
you did to
disrespected me
every
in the
man
past.
you've talked to. You disrespected them. I've
No,
never
you've
once
disrespected me in the
disrespected
past, and I'm
you.
not letting
No,
it
the
go.
problem is you think you're special and you're not special.
I
Right?
know, but
And
you've
you want to be
disrespected me in the
We
past.
are special
that
because
you're
we have
special.
vaginas. All right, we bring we bring life into this world. So shut your male ass up. All right.
Brad went full the feminist Latino over it.
the feminist Latino.
The
No, but
feminist
you
Latino.
disrespected me in the
Wait!
past.
Did you just misgender me by calling me Latino? Oh hell no! I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you. No.
You got a lawsuit. You got a lawsuit.
Excuse me,
That was
Bro
funny.
Tab.
Oh, yes, sir. What up, Jose?
If I may, I would like to
Yep.
ask the radical Latina a question.
Yes, girl, go right ahead.
Okay, now I just saw the last version of the Voodoo Council, and you were speaking to Chris Doyle. I'd like to know what is the purpose of the Voodoo Council, if you can explain it to me, please, because it was the first time I actually saw it.
Voodoo Council, baby.
Well, the part 2 is gonna come soon. The Voodoo Council was just the name on its own was just a way to basically throw pie in the face at Rancho for calling us part of the Voodoo Council. So I took that and turned it into a positive thing.
So basically, if I understand you correctly, basically anyone can express their viewpoint.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, what's this channel? Chop liver? You can't do that here?
No, I'm not saying that. I was asking the radical Latino
Okay.
question.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Part of that was just to throw, pie in the face of Rancho's talking points, and he called us the Voodoo Council, and I made it a stream. So I turned something negative into a positive.
Well, you know what's funny, because I got a comment on YouTube calling me an ass kisser.
Oh wow.
You know why?
Read the comments.
Because I actually made a positive statement regarding Brotep, Radical, True Teacher, Christina, and Denise.
Wow.
Yeah, well.
And for that, but you know what? I'm not going to answer, because you know what? Because that does not merit a response.
Yeah, when you go against certain people's talking points and beliefs, you're gonna get a barrage of negative outcry and negative comments. It's not a surprise that some of those people that are probably on the other side of the camp mirror such negative feelings towards you, based on that positive message. Don't take it too personal. Just
no, I'm not
just
taking.
laugh
You
it
know what?
off.
I laugh at seriously, because I mean, when you have to resort to something like that, that means your argument is pathetic and weak.
Well, yeah, that means you just abandoned your argument. To be honest, that means your argument couldn't hold the conversation. You just have to resort into name calling, which automatically disqualifies you, and you lose the whole argument.
I wanted to just mention, when you're dealing, but the difference is when men deal with each other, and this is why, like, it is a difficult space to join, but I'm gonna join anyway when I feel like I am able to. I'm gonna join, but the difference is you're not gonna be threatened with physical assault as often, right? Because this is what happens in real life as well. You're not going to be threatened with being sexually assaulted, and this is what I want to stop normalizing. I don't know why Greg is so confused and shocked by that, because on these streams, the women on the streams have literally been threatened with sexual assault. So I don't know why.
What I will say.
You say these
to be fair, he
streams
hasn't been on
never
these.
happened here.
Yeah,
Never happened here. Do not blame us for dickheads
we're not
on some random stream.
We're not talking about. We're talking about a collective group of people.
What
We're
I
not
will
talking about
say-
bro type stream.
All aboard. What I will say.
no, but not. It doesn't happen on Greg's streams either. On
But I've never been on
Tank
Greg's
Barrett.
stream.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
what I will say.
I think it's a select group of fucktards.
Yeah, all
who are
aboard.
doing that.
What I will say
Start
about
there.
what I will say about that is, usually when men have conversations, even when they don't agree with each other, it is usually respectful, and there's no comments or anything that goes into personal attacks. Usually, women who join these don't have the same respect.
Yeah.
They'll come with some emotional stuff for the most part and start name calling or saying, well, maybe it's because you got a small dick or something like that, right? That's the reason. That's the reason.
The men do the same thing. I've seen the men.
And again, some of those men, those are weak men. I'm talking about people who actually have a genuine discourse and actually want to have a genuine discussion. Because I've seen women come into male spaces and actually have a genuine discussion and discourse.
Wait, are these just male spaces?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they're male spaces.
I don't know.
But all aboard, what's wrong with a male space?
There's nothing wrong with a man having a space, but just make it clear, and then we'll just leave you guys to yourselves to do what you guys want to do. But
well, I mean, no,
if it
doesn't work like that anyway. We're not allowed to have spaces.
No, I don't. I wouldn't mind you guys.
We can't even have sports and comic books anymore.
Oh gosh. Well then, I mean, there's female characters, aren't there, in the comic books?
We don't really care about that. We want good ones. We want our comics.
I know. I want good ones too.
There just isn't anything anymore. And if guys actually do something like, for example, have like a country club that's men only to get away from the wives and stuff, that's sexist, and then they get attacked with lawsuits. Every city I live in, though, has women-only dance halls and clubs.
Yeah, that's why we create women characters that don't nag. It's a joke. It's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Latina, I'm gonna ask you to stop being a pick-me.
That's a joke. That's a joke. Actually, I think I overextended my time. It's been a great chat.
You taking off, bro? Yeah, you can't leave yet.
See, now I'm the only one.
We got a blaze, Rad. We got to blaze one. God damn
it! No, maybe some other time.
Yes, I mean, if you're still around, if you're still around and the stream's still up, you can jump back in whenever you like.
Cool.
But wait, I just want to say.
But all aboard. Now you're not the only woman on the stream. All aboard.
Who's here?
Akira is here, and she's a woman.
Becky.
Hey, Akira.
Akira, can I get your opinion on the topics that are being discussed? Basically, any topic that was touched upon, you can go ahead and give your 2 cents on. Like, what do you think about the behavior of men in men's spaces?
You're muted, Becky.
But you didn't. But this is the thing. If I didn't know these were men's spaces, I know, so I won't.
Well, I mean, if it's a space and you see it's all dudes in there,
Well, here's another. It's not a man's space, but we do man talk here, and we do call each other on bullshit and stuff like that. Don't matter what sex or color you are. You talk some shit that we think is bullshit. One of us is probably going to call you on it, and we're not united, by the way. It's not like we're against you. We're against each other too. Like Radical and I have argued, and then the next 5 minutes we're laughing and joking around. I mean, that's just men. That's what we do. I mean, you guys are just as welcome as anyone. What's up, Becky?
But what you can't do is come in and change the rules. Okay, from now on, no one calls anyone this, and then we're gonna move all these pictures off the walls over here. That's what they tried to do with gaming, right? Well, like online gaming, where women who are cool, they came in there, they play games with you, they chop it up with you, joke around, ha ha ha, ha, and it's good.
And
But then when you have hold on, when you have the SJW, hold on. When you had the control freaks, I'll call them, come in there, they wanted to change everything. Like, I don't like what you guys are calling each other. I mean, we were on there. I mean, I've been on gaming since, Xbox Live, right? Where, the kids from like the Midwest, who most of them were not even racist, but they thought it'd be edgy to just, sling the N word around. So what we do is, in the game, we whoop their ass and make sure they come in last, dead last. Then we ask them about the N word. You know what I'm saying? And then, eventually they stopped using it. Yeah, eventually they stopped using it, and they became some of our best friends. And then, we put some clans together and stuff like that, and started hunting down, newbies and noobs and shit. But
Let me tell you a
when
funny
when
story about
when
that.
when women came in mass in gaming, right? Because there were women here and there, and they loved it. That's the environment that attracted them. The sort of women, in my opinion and my experience, that were attracted to that sort of environment were women who like being around men to begin with. They love it,
Mhm. But then
right?
the
So they
fake geek
love
girls
they.
came in.
I'm sorry, what?
But then the fake geek girls came in.
Yeah, it is my opinion. You know, but then when the control freaks got in there, they wanted to and they were like, this environment is so toxic and sexist and homophobic, because we would all be dropping the F-bomb. Be like,
Some
why'd you get
people
that med
though.
pack before me, you F word, right? I can't say it on this platform, but yo, F word, why you keep camping out here when you supposed to be out there watching the perimeter or whatever? And when the women came in there in masks, geek girls, yeah, Fitz said it's about the fake geek girls, yeah. When they came in there in mass, what they did was they complained so hard that the gaming committee for like Xbox, etc., they started instituting laws like, hey, you can't say these things anymore, or you get timeout during the game, and if you say it one more again, your account gets suspended for 30 days. And for a gamer, that's a that's kind of like a half-life sentence. 30 days without my Xbox, or without my Xbox Live. And if you say it one time after that, you're banned for life, right? I don't know how they could tell that it's you, but you're banned for life. I guess the
But
the,
isn't
the
it a good
avatar you're
thing though?
using.
Like, isn't it
No, you're
bad to
nah,
have
you're
like
No,
they
that's not a good thing. That's not a good
unsupervised?
thing. You know what? No,
Why? Because
look.
there's
Well, I
also
mean,
children. There's children
yeah,
that are
but
exposed to
you're
these
supposed to
things.
raise your children. I'm not supposed to raise your children. I'm out
All
here
right, but
trying to game.
yo,
God.
I heard
okay,
a
but
kid
there's
get
like
beat while I was
there has
playing
to be some
Xbox Live.
rules.
I'm
No,
sorry,
like
God.
Give kids different servers. That's what I
There,
would
but
there
then
you
do.
you,
go.
you
Yeah,
That's
also
what I
that's a
would.
like
good one. Yeah,
That's
I
what
mean
I've been
also
wanting
like
for a
people are
long
making
time. And if parents don't want their kids hearing these words, they'll put them on the kids servers. That's really
okay,
what
but
should
then
be
yeah,
done
that's a
also
all
good
you have
along
idea.
anyway.
people swatting people. Like, didn't you think it got kind of out of control? Because the majority of these
Well,
people, like,
yeah, okay, that's a good point about the swatting. If someone's swatting, I think they should be reported to the authorities and
Well,
should have
yeah,
yeah, because that's a legit death
Yeah.
murder attempt. You're trying to get someone murdered out there.
yeah. They
In
do get
fact,
in trouble for that. They get in big
mhm,
trouble for that.
They
when
should.
hold on,
Absolutely.
Dario's in the hizzy. Dario, send me an image of whatever you want to promote, so I could plaster it on the screen. All right, whenever you get a chance, drop me a link or photo on Twitter, on the Twitter,
what
and
I
I'll
want,
go I'll go
a
fetch that,
quick
and I'll put.
question before I
Uh,
shut up, and I'll be quiet for at least 5 minutes.
no, go ahead
Why
then.
why are these supposed to be like? Why is gaming a male space?
Um,
Why is it a male space? I don't because I've been gaming since I was a small
well,
child, right?
mhm.
And I don't get why. Like, okay, we can game, we can talk shit to each other, but why does it have to devolve into saying things like I'm gonna sexually assault you? Like, the most gruesome things you
Well,
would ever see.
those
They're
things don't
connected.
necessarily equal the same thing. That being a male space doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get rape threats and death threats and all these different things. You know what I mean? Those still it's just bad behavior from bad people.
Yeah, but
You know?
that's pretty much that's a good majority of it. And so, but why does it have to
No, that's not
be?
true. And also a lot of the reports we get, like let's say somebody says, fuck off and die. Oh my God, he just threatened you with death. No, 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 that's a misreport. You're misreporting that I threatened you with death. That's not a death threat. That's me wishing that you'd go, fuck off and die or whatever.
Yeah,
Jump in a lake of acid or go jerk off with a chainsaw or whatever. Right? That's
yeah, I
not.
agree with you. But why
Yeah.
is it a male space? Do you think that we should just go play games off by ourselves? Like, and
That'd
then
be great. Why don't you start your own gaming community?
is that what you? Okay, so if that's
No,
what
I'm
you
not saying you
think,
should. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying why don't you?
okay.
If you don't like the male space, you may want to create a space that's more to your liking. Look, the manga community, right? The true purist manga community is mostly Asian. There are a lot of white, a lot of black, but it's mostly Asian. I don't have a chip on my shoulder about entering a space that I knowingly acknowledge is Asian. Just like when I did work for a few novelists who were doing young adult novels, that's an exceedingly female space. They run this shit. If you just type in on Google, who runs the literary industry, it's women. Women are the ones reading all these novels. The fucking Dorian, not Dorian Gray. What's that guy's name? 50 Shades of fucking Gray and all these different things.
Christian
It's
Grey.
women. Christian Gray. It's women reading all that shit. It's not dudes sitting up there. I mean, I'm sure you'll find a dude or two, but
Yeah, but that's
funny
consensual.
story. When the movie came out, there was a guy who got caught coming out the theater, and he ducked back in there until the camera went away. So everyone knows it's a female
Yeah, but
space.
that's consensual.
That's who.
Like that's not. I'm not like concerned about consensual stuff. I'm concerned about
No,
like
no, 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 no,
yes,
no. What I'm saying is no. Listen. What I'm saying is like the the female spaces, right? When men enter them, they don't try to turn them into male spaces. I'm not coming into the the literary community where Christian Grey and all these things are prevalent. I'm like, you know what? We gotta stop all this kind of thing here. Let's have these men have bazookas, machine guns, and let's have them, scarred up. Or if they got a shirt off, we shouldn't have them, looking like Fabio. Let's have them look like Rambo. All right. Let's have all kinds of battle scars and abrasions on their skin. Right. We're not making changes like that, and we're not demanding changes like that. We come in there, we know where the fuck we're at, and we behave accordingly. So if a woman recognizes that she's entering a male space, why can't she do the equivalent of that in the spirit of reciprocity? You know, we don't come into your spaces and tell you what to do. If you come into our spaces, why do you want to change everything? So, and what would be wrong with, by the way, comic books is was and I wouldn't say will always be, but is and was a male space, dominated space. They came out with fake numbers on YouTube, not YouTube, on Facebook, saying that 50% of comic book buyers are women, based on your Facebook poll, not based on sales. Anybody could click "I buy comics" next to a little checkbox on Facebook. But are they going out to their comic book shops and ordering? Are they subscribing to mailing lists, to pull lists? Are they hunting down lost issues of this, that, and the third? Are they collecting garages full of back issues of Conan and what's that guy? Fantastic Four and Challenges of the Unknown and all these different things. X-Men, right? No, they're not. They're not. So it's not a female space. And what's wrong with admitting that? There's nothing wrong with admitting I'm in a female space and I'm in a male space and I'm female. But
I get that, but why does it have to be like violent or disrespectful?
no, it doesn't have to be.
Men are inherently violent. That's just how we talk to each other.
Are you saying that because
women are too?
Men in those spaces, boys in those spaces, are just the same way with each other? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Look, the same guys who will do that, who will say that fucked up shit to you, they'll say equally fucked up shit to guys. The only thing is, what they believe. Look, what they believe is a weak point for you, which is your womanhood, and they attack that. They'll whatever they think is a weak point for me or Lord Hokage or Greg Levitre or Jose. They will attack those perceived weak points as well. You know. They'll be like, hey, what's with this guy Brotep reviewing comics? He must be gay. I don't know how that connection's made, but that's the connection that was made on someone else's platform, right?
Usually, sorry about that. I was going to say, usually in the Call of Duty stuff, a lot of times when you're beating their ass, they're going to say anything to get you off your game.
Yeah, get you off your game. They did that too, yeah.
You know what else too is, and this is the biggest, I've been gaming since gaming started, literally at Pong. And then internet gaming, I started at the beginning of that too. And I can tell you this, everything was really pretty much chill. Like you would have, until really World of Warcraft brought a bunch of little kids in, little boys. And that started getting a little bit cancerous, where you got character names like Little Boy Lover. Stuff you're not supposed, stuff you're not to say, you're not supposed to be like that. You see all these little names. That's little kids typically, there are adults that do that kind of stuff too, but it's meant to be edgy, right? Yeah. So then the whole N-word and all that stuff and bitching about gay people and women, the entire reason why they started doing that is it was a meme. Like none of them believed any of this stuff, but they were being told constantly, preached to all the time. Don't say this. You're bad. You're a racist. You're a sexist. They're like, nigga, I'm just over here playing games. What the fuck? The fuck? I'm a sexist. What are you talking about? So they're like, all right, I'm a sexist then. Fuck bitches. Fuck bitch. I'm gonna rape that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how these guys do this. I've seen the N-word in all caps spammed down chats. Yeah. Since the time of like commonly even like on ArcAge. ArcAge had a big weeb and furry community, believe it or not. There was a lot of like fetish weeby kind of fucktards on that game and shit fucks of different colors. But anyway, there was all these different types like that, really weirdos. At first it was like a meme, but there was actually a lot of guys that were into a lot of those things. So I think half of them were memeing and assumed the other half were just memeing, but half of them were being serious. Like they were really into, they were really wanting feet pics and stuff. But that's the thing is, if you believe trolls are a measure of normalcy on any level, you might want to consider that maybe the problem might not be, it might be your perspective.
But didn't you say it was half?
Trolls are not any, trolls are purposely being exactly as bad as you expect them to be. You understand? Like they're meant to be bad. They're doing it on purpose.
You said it was half. So wouldn't half be like, that's pretty common if it's half, no?
Half what?
You said half.
And I said half of them are just trolling, half of them are serious. I'm not saying half the population of males. No, I'm not saying half the population are
half
these guys.
Half of the 50%. So that's 25% of the people who are trolling.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea. I talked to some guys that were weird, and I'm thinking, well, some of these guys are obviously serious when they're talking about all this shit.
Well, he seems to be a big Weibo and furry community because you've mentioned that multiple times.
Well, it's very common.
It's spreading because of Pokemon and all that bullshit, all that.
Yeah, but
they had like a furry con. That shit was funny. All these people.
The worst is
people out, man.
The lolly community is the absolute worst. I mean, guys humping like big teddy bear looking people is one thing. That's weird. They could do that. I'm not judging, but the lolly shit is absolute.
I don't even know what that is. What's a lolly?
My innocence is broken, Greg.
I don't really want to be the guy to deliver that to you guys, but you can look it up. LOLI. It's a modern Japanese originated subculture of weeby shit.
Oh,
I mean, man, it's just there's a lot of pedophilia themes in modern
That's
Japanese
something that I
culture.
wanted to mention. But listen, why is this okay? Why in this community is this just allowed to run rampant and there's no checks and balances?
The guys you're talking about aren't okay.
I'm not saying you. I said in this community.
I know, that's what I'm saying. The
Don't
guys.
be personal.
Why do you assume I'm not taking
Because I'm saying
anything
in the
personal?
community. I said
you can
in the
see my
community.
face here. No, what I'm telling you is the guys you're talking about, okay, they are punished. All right.
Yeah.
They don't get away with this shit, right? They do for a little while. The guy spamming the N-word like 50 times, he got banned. He lost his account.
Yep.
I mean, what else do we got to do?
Everything you collected too. Everything. You know how much that hurts? You collect something for 5 years, you get all these little, oh my God.
Most of the people went, what a douchebag when he did it. You
Yep.
understand? Like most of the community. But they're vocal, right? Most of the normal people don't chat. They don't get out there and talk on voice chat. They turn it the fuck off because it's a bunch of douchebags a lot of times that are talking. You know?
Like Twitter.
What's up,
Dario?
Dario?
Welcome.
Dario!
What up?
What's going on?
What's good, man? What do you think of some of these topics here? We're all over the place pretty much, but originally this was about the film
I restarted
The Tomorrow War and how it's pro family, pro fatherhood, pro unity among all Americans, right? And the control freaks on Twitter, they could not let it stand. Okay, and they got in touch with their little independent journalist community, and they tried to get one or two articles floating around out there to malign the film. Like, what do you think of that kind of occurrence?
To be completely honest, I don't really think about it too much.
By the way,
Yo.
Epic answer.
I restarted my laptop. Do I sound right now?
Wait, who's speaking right now?
Fizz.
Is it Fizz? Hey, Fizz, what's going on? There, your sound is fantastic now.
Okay, got it.
All right, let us know.
He
what
still
your
sounds
thoughts
like
are.
a fart.
No, he sounded better. Say
Really?
something
A lot
else,
better.
Fizz. What's going on, Fizz? What do you think of these topics, Fizz?
I don't know. So I haven't really seen the movie yet.
Oh yeah, you still
Yeah.
sound a little bit messed up. Yeah, you gotta maybe what you can do is you can type what you want to say and I'll read it out for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you literally sound like a fart, Fizz.
hey, that's why the name is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, when I think about it now, I think online gaming might have been my first time. Oh no, I take that back. Online gaming, and when AOL first put up their chat rooms, I think that was my first time delving into some trolling.
Yeah. You know what? That might have been my first experience in dealing with trolls too, which was online like Halo.
But I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but I was always told to go with the PlayStation because Xbox is where the real racists are. So
there were a lot of, and you know what the funny thing is? I thought at the time, man, these people are really racist. Then I found out it's really what it is that they're saying what they think, especially if they detect some some Negro in you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you sound street like Brotep, you're gonna get trolled.
South Street like Brotep. No, that's the first time I've ever been accused of that. But but as soon as they detect that, they fly off with the N words. If they detect some sort of lilt in your voice, like "Hey," now you're the F word immediately. You're done.
No, but you know what I've noticed though, like I think they've caught on to it. Like a lot of the online gaming I do now is just strictly like chat boxes. So you got to talk to each other in Discord. So it's more like personal one-on-one if you want to speak during the game.
That's the way to go anyway. Oh, yeah. Voice chat.
Oh,
How is that not racist though? Isn't that just like, I don't get how you guys are trying to make it like
You can say a word and not mean it in that way.
No, that's still racism.
This
No,
is
it's
what
not.
guys
No, no.
don't want to play video games with girls right here.
Here's the deal. Let me explain it to you. When guys are competitive against each other, we will say anything to get you. I fucked your mom last night.
Yeah, have
Your
you ever
mother's a
seen?
whore.
Have you ever
They'll
seen
talk
the
about
movie?
your race. They'll talk about your religion.
Yeah,
They'll
have you,
talk about your
Takes
little
to
brother
build
who's
you
Are
up.
you
stealing ice to you.
overweight?
have
Are
you
you
ever
overweight?
seen?
Are you old? Are you young? It's anything.
Yep.
It does not
Anything to get
matter.
you off the game.
Have you ever seen the
Get you off
movie?
your game. Your
You ever
game.
see
Yeah.
you ever see men play basketball?
Yeah,
Talking.
Basketball, the movie. That's what I was gonna say.
I was
Have you
saying
ever seen
basketball on the
Basketball?
hood. No,
Basketball.
basketball.
Yeah, that was
Damn
part,
it.
that was part of the game. They like get you and like flash you their man titties and shit. And
Well, just normal basketball. It's
That's
like
just
that
normal
anyway. I mean, just
Okay.
just fucking with each other.
I don't know where you play basketball, Greg.
Not flashing titties, but like talking shit. You know,
Oh,
like
all right,
This
all right.
pretty much proves my point that the whole like utopia of that show.
Oh, that movie?
I mean,
No,
the
listen,
movie, I mean
listen.
to say, is
Listen, I like.
unrealistic because in real life, this is real life. This is what you guys do.
It's
So,
fiction.
so miss me with the there was this woman and she was just respected and she was just running this squad and they didn't be like, bitch, we're not gonna respect you because you're weak and you're weaker than us. Like, get out of here. That is
No,
fake.
they're women.
I like
Are you
my-
serious?
So
They're
don't be
women in the
weak.
military right now.
No.
So don't be weak.
I like my movies. And I like my movies to be realistic. And,
Yo,
and
who got time to cuss
realistically,
some woman
she
out
would
when
not
the
be
world's about to end with aliens eating
whatever.
people up and
Realistically,
shooting
she would not be in
tentacles?
charge.
you think video gaming communities are like military
Yeah, because
trained
it's
guys
really
that are in
normal.
a
Yes,
crisis
of course.
situation?
Of course, the military is racist in itself. And Lord Hokage, you cannot deny that because I know you hear so many racist jokes on a daily basis, especially when you're in
Yes, and I was the one cracking them on a daily basis.
Yeah,
What
okay,
are you
so you were the
talking about?
problem. But
No,
that
I'm
exists.
not.
So you can't just like, okay, that's a nice little utopia where women
It's
are
not
in charge of this.
utopia,
That's
but
some
we have
SJW
ways to
shit
deal
you're
with our
bringing.
problems.
That's not realistic.
No,
But
we have
Um,
ways
no, but here's the thing.
Excuse me.
with our issues. That is the thing what women do not understand. Men, me and Brotep could get into a big argument, go out back, beat the living crap out of each other, and then an hour later be like, hey, let's go get a beer, man.
and then you can
You know what I
also
mean?
go out back, shoot each other, and then both of you are like one is critically injured and one is
Yeah, but that's not how we
so that's
handle
also a
things.
possibility.
Yeah,
That's not how we
That's-
handle things.
Yeah, that's a misrepresentation. That's not really typically how healthy men handle shit.
Yeah,
We
because
don't we don't aim to kill people or each other
Saying we're
I think
talking about
women-
all
over slight
possibilities.
disagreements.
Excuse me.
I think women do the same thing though. Because have you guys ever been in that situation where your two of your ex-girlfriends are all of a sudden best friends, and you're like, fuck.
They're backstabbers. They take backdoor.
No,
approach.
that's you, Dario. You should stop double timing these.
No, but what they're trauma bonding. That's what they're doing. They're trauma
Oh, the trauma bonding.
Yeah, yeah. All
So,
of, dealing with
Lord Hokage and Dario should stop double timing these women.
Yeah, I
You know
like
what I'm saying?
my.
Or
I like
at the
my-
very least, schedule them differently so they don't bump into each other.
I like my women.
Um,
I like my women. How I
excuse
like
me.
my coffee. Big titties.
What? Jose, go ahead, bro.
No, I'm just gonna get off the screen so I can give someone else an opportunity to jump in.
No problem.
Bro Tap, thank you for allowing me to be a part of the stream. It's good to
Absolutely.
hear from you guys. All aboard. I'm glad I was able to hear from you. I'm gonna close by always saying the same thing. Please be safe, everybody, because there's some crazy people that want to do us harm. And plus, we must avoid at all costs the mentally and intellectually challenged people, because if not, we might inherit their stupidity.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I hear that.
So have a good night, everybody, and please be safe.
Yes, sir.
Night, Jose.
No, Jose.
Yo, you
Sorry
can't
about that.
be bothered to take the plastic off of your
Yo, I'm glad.
He's that lazy, yo.
Oh my
I just thought that
God.
same shit. I was like, dude, take the.
I'm glad you guys brought that up, yo. I was doing my speed dating thing again.
Oh,
What is this?
yo, you got any clips? Put some clips up.
This girl told me that if I wanted to talk to her again, to take my plastic off my bottle and get my life together. And I tried telling her I was all about saving the turtles, but she didn't buy that shit.
No. You can cut them. Just cut them with a knife. But wow, so you are the late. You know how hard it is to get one out when there's only one more left in there? You have to struggle to be lazy. Like, look at the
Dario is definitely not a lazy man. He's a very busy man, more like it.
Shit, I'm wearing the same
busy
shirt.
working on those books. You know what I'm saying?
He got 2 books, a day job, a kid. The motherfucker's busy.
I'm depressed.
That's the story of my life.
Because you know, I think like normal people, like their highs and their lows are like here, right? But once you venture into that writer artist spectrum, it's like our highs and lows are like.
Oh yeah, my highs. I just get mostly highs. It's just like excitement every day. Yeah, new art, new cool shit happening. Fuck.
Dario, I'm curious. What is one of your favorite books on your shelf right there? Since you got a bunch of them, or comic.
I would say my favorite book's not even on the shelf. It's over here somewhere. But right now, it's probably the 48 Laws of Power.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah. But it's a pretty evil book. But I enjoy it just so I can spot people in life that are playing that game. I'll be like, oh, okay. See what you do.
Is it in life or in Call of Duty?
Wait, what? Oh no, I don't play Call of Duty. I'm trash. The only way I get kills in Call of Duty is by using the sticky bomb and running away.
The fuck? You know you can always camp. Just find a good spot.
Not
lay
long.
down.
Call of Duty.
Don't be a
Oh,
camper.
not anymore. Not anymore.
You never really could camp for very long. Somebody always spawns behind you in those COD games. Their fucking maps
And
are
if you're
trash.
laying down, I'll think you're camping, and I'll shoot like the dead bodies too.
No, but people started capping under my sticky bomb. My sticky bomb
Becky's ruthless.
Super smart too.
You have to be fast, or you'll get killed.
Yo, she's like, shoot, if they laying down just to make sure.
Make
So
sure they
which
stay
COD
down.
was you guys' favorite? Mine was, I'd have to say, COD 4.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
playing Cold War right now.
I don't like Call of Duty games. I liked like Call of Duty 3, I think it was the one that was World War II with tanks. And since then, it's been the same kind of crap with a little bit enhanced features here and there, like better guns, a little bit like, oh, this one has better aim on this game. Oh well,
After
just
4,
minor.
oh, I was going to say after 4, it became Piece of Duty.
Well, I like if I'm going to play a shooter type of game like that, I like the Battlefield style games, like. I like Battlefield, or I like Heroes and Generals, where you've got like bases to take and you've got like vehicles, planes, all that kind of stuff. It just, I get bored just shooting after about 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, come on, Greg. You know you like Fortnite.
Hey,
You took my joke.
I might have if it didn't look like absolute dog shit and it didn't have a bunch of crack babies on it.
Yeah, but listen. The allure of Fortnite is the community. It's not really like the graphics, you know.
Yeah, they got a lot of those.
The graphics.
They got
By community, you mean screaming children?
No, man. Oh, see, y'all playing games, man. Well,
That's how I knew I was getting
so
old,
like
because
you.
I hated Fortnite. Like, my kid tried to get me into that thing. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't like the building. I don't like the building system. It's
yo, talking about kids, 4-year-olds are the biggest tattletales I fucking know, man. My little man got me in trouble. He told my mom I kept sniffing the table and yelling "woo" after.
Uh-oh.
What the
fuck? Dario.
I told my mom I like the smell of mahogany, but she wasn't.
No,
Well, she's not 4 years old.
Not mahogany, cedar. Cedar.
Cedar. Yeah, there you go. Cedar and oak. Yeah.
The fresh pine.
Yeah. There's actually a game that I'm fixing to pick up, speaking of first-person shooters and online and all that shit, that you guys may want to play with me, called Foxhole. I think you guys might like that. love for you guys to jump on with me. Maybe we could do a stream or something like that one day.
Yep. Hold on.
Love for you guys.
So, as far as World War Hell and the Brain Cage games, I bumped into something that I don't know if Greg might be interested in. Have you guys heard of The Darkest Dungeon?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard
I
of
kind of
Darkest
have.
Dungeon. But I never played it because I'm not able to play video games really financially.
Hold up, one second. Let me.
I think Fart is saying something.
He said fart is saying something.
I swear, Fizz, you really sound like a robot fart.
Yo, Fizz, I want to do a deep dive interview with you on my channel.
Why is your mic doing that, Fizz? You stream and it sounds fine when you stream. Are you not using the same mic and everything?
Greg.
Yo.
Hold on, let me show you real quick. Because I immediately saw this and thought of you and Dan. I was like, this. If y'all don't make a game like this, man, y'all missing the opportunity, bro. Hold on.
We're making a lot of different types of games. What kind is this one?
It's just the aesthetics of it. So it's I don't even play it. It's just I'm doing a video on H.P. Lovecraft and why these libs should leave him the fuck alone. Like, if you think he's so racist, stop using up his shit. Right? So yeah. I was making a video, so I was collecting different material, and then I bumped into this game here, which is derived from or is inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's work. Give me a second. Tomorrow War top. Nope. Yeah, there we go. Top 5 beginner mistakes.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of black people running out to make a remake of Birth of the Nation. You know, I mean,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, hold on. Right here. Let me play it. Let me make sure it plays. See this? So basically, I know you guys are familiar with the work of Mike Mignola.
Not
no,
really.
you're not.
No, I'm still kind of new to everything.
Hellboy.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah, no, well, not Hellboy, but no, I mean Hellboy, obviously, but the artist who draws Hellboy.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's
So
his IP even.
That's his IP. He's making out big time. I mean, that's the dream, right? But
looks like turn-based.
Yeah, well, I'm not really concerned about the gameplay. It's the art style, and I'm like, wow, can you imagine if this stuff? Look at the work. See, the thing is, I'd be the worst client for this game because I'd be going through it just for the artwork, and they'll be like, I don't know, this guy's not, giving us any feedback on on the gameplay. Like, no, man, I'm just, admiring this artwork. Look at the inking style. This is directly. I thought when I saw this, I thought Mignola must have drawn this, but no, the work, I didn't see that it was Mignola. I'll have to look deeper into it. Maybe Mignola did do some of this because it's way too Mignola-esque for him not to have been involved, right?
No. I'm not really seeing. I'm not.
You're not seeing Mignola.
I'm not seeing it. No. It looks like, honestly, it looks like a lot of games I see out there that are fantasy style, cartoonish style kind of art. Yeah.
Look at that.
I don't really see Magnolia at all. This is actually cheaply made, like and animated and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually,
which is good.
I'm not that impressed.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, not the gameplay. So you're not impressed by the art either?
Not really, no. It's all right. It looks better than a lot of games out there, I'll say.
Yeah, man.
I
was supposed to just basically get some footage and then use it for the video I'm making about H.P. Lovecraft, but I found myself sitting down and watching this whole Let's Play. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Looking at the details of the skull heads on her belt or whatever the clothing is she's wearing. And I think I know the software that they used also. I think it's called Spine. Look at these.
Probably used Game Maker.
Game Maker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Game Maker Studio. But
Studio. Okay.
That's why it's so simplistic. It's probably one person who made it.
Who made
and so they took a lot of shortcuts because otherwise it would take them another 3 years, to like properly animate and model and all that stuff.
Yeah, Greg would know. He's like right in the middle of that process.
Well, not this
salute him.
complex. Not this complex of a game. I'm doing 8-bit, but yeah, it's
Yeah, this looks like they even skimped on their sprites. You know. What I mean?
They did. They absolutely
Look,
did.
man, I like this. I don't know why you guys don't, but yeah, I like this a lot. And you see the avatars down here and the game assets. I love all this stuff, man. And the death symbol here, that female death symbol on the bottoms here. Beautiful stuff. I love this. Wow.
Well, I just
yeah, I'm sorry, again.
no, I'm just saying it's one of them things where I look at the genre a game is in, and then I compare that game to other games in that genre, and I think, is this game innovative, or is it at least at standard? And
Yeah, you guys are probably exposed to more stuff than I am. Obviously.
and what we've had in the last several years is mainstream companies suck ass, and so they're putting out a lot of trash that's not up to standard, and so we're all going to these indie games, and there's one or two people on an indie team is very limited in what they can do. So honestly, gaming right now currently is in a pretty sad state. I mean, if I think it's kind of neat that Nintendo brought back 2D platforming though with the new Metroid game. That's really cool.
Okay. Yeah.
But, it's gaming's very sad right now. It's a lot of the same titles, new versions of the same titles with a little bit of extra, a lot of DLC pay to win bullshit, a lot of just corporate greed is out of control in the gaming industry, and it's ruined the fun for most of the gamers. So that's another reason a lot of gamers troll is they get bored. The game starts not being fun anymore, and they want to act out. Especially a lot of the young ones. It's like you're sitting in class. You had a cool teacher come in and talk for a little bit, and then they had to go do something. So another person came in to take over for a little bit, and this person's boring. So now the kids are going to act up. It's kind of like that kind of thing.
So you get RDJ for the first teacher, and then he does his Iron Man shtick or Tony Stark shtick for 45 minutes or whatever. He's like, "Hey, I gotta go. I'll be right back." Right, and then you get the Clear Eyes guy. This has an ingredient to moisturize. Try Clear Eyes. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
One of the things I would love to eventually do with World War Hell is I would love to eventually get it on VR, because I really want people to kind of look in it and get the scale of these demons, how big they are. And when something on all fours towers all over you with claws and pincers, it's going to rip your head apart or impale you, you'll get that sense of fear.
Yeah, those destroyer demons pulverize people. Just fucking pulverize, man. It's horrific.
All right.
And,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, too, that in about, I think on Monday or Tuesday, Carlos is going to get that design done, and then I'm going to show it to you.
Good. Yeah. All right. So you said Monday, Tuesday-ish?
Yeah. He's
all right, I'll reserve those days for that.
Greg has already seen it. It's
cool,
beautiful.
Cool.
We just gotta get some. More parts to it. And Greg's trying to tell me, "Dan, no, you've got enough demons. Stop."
Man, you're spending so much money on all these. You got plenty of demons, but yeah, he's got so many ideas for demons. He's going to be releasing those in future series, of course, but he's got plenty for this first story.
Dario, you got an Indiegogo for your book yet?
Nope. As soon as my colorist finishes my cover, I'm gonna start a mailing list. But
okay.
I did drop something in your inbox on Twitter.
Twitter?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, go chop it up amongst yourselves. I'm gonna look for these images to promote.
So you know what kind of game I've gotten into since I've gotten older now is RTS. You guys know what that is?
Oh yeah, one of my favorite genres.
Because I feel like those are the type of games where it lets you know if you're really good at gaming. Like it's not just like a first-person shooter or a button mashing fighting game. It's like you actually have to do some thinking and some budgeting depending on what kind of game you're playing as well.
What's your favorite? Which is your favorite RTS?
I'd say Total Warhammer.
Mine is actually a Warhammer title too, but it's Dawn of War.
No, okay.
That's actually.
Oh, I was going to say that I like the was it the shot and powder? So I love going to was it Empire and Napoleon Total War? I love those. Total
War is a good series. I've got the Warhammer Total War. It's the Warhammer Fantasy though, not 40K.
Yeah, that's what I got for.
That's not bad. We'll have to play it sometime, man.
Yeah.
I'm not that good at it yet though. I haven't got to put much time into it.
Oh yeah, I'm horrible at it. You can sit there and learn how to play and do all these proper strategies, but what my main strategy is like building the wonkiest army to throw people the fuck off. Like, how the fuck am I gonna? What is he doing? He doesn't even have a front line. I love doing shit like that.
Oh yeah, strategy game. I especially like the more in-depth strategy games where you actually have to make a fucking supply line to supply your troops, get them ammo and stuff like that. Because if you don't, they're gonna just run out of ammo and get railed over.
Yeah.
I love that type of stuff, like the more in-depth strategy style.
The only thing I wish that RTS would do, but I don't know if it's even humanly possible, but like a lot of people's complaints about Total Warhammer 2 and stuff is that when you're playing it or when you're streaming it, it looks like a bunch of ants going to war, right? Yeah. So I wish it could be zoomed in and cinematic the whole time while you're playing, but I can't imagine how much. I don't know anything about computers, but like RAM, I guess, or resolution it would take to be in cinematic view the whole fight,
Yeah, I know that the guys who have done Total War have been really, really dropping the ball lately on it. The Three Kingdoms was a huge disappointment. And I remember I used to play, what was that, Dynasty Warriors, which is about the Three Kingdoms in China. And I was just like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, Jesus, they ruined it. It's, you got the heroes. You actually have hero units that will go in the middle and square off and fight, and all the troops will go around them watching them and shit like that. And I just hate it. Just like once you get more of a corporate mentality, like in a certain series, like an EA or something comes in and gobbles them up, you just lose that creative spark. They just make it like into a fucking assembly line, which I hate.
Yeah, that's the one thing I like about Total Warhammer Fantasy is that it's like you're building an army, right? So it's like armies in real life going at war, but like it's fantasy. So like your Air Force units will be like freaking demons with wings, or like dwarfs and like what's that shit called? Dwarfs like in steampunk, like hot air balloons and shit. It's like just stuff like that is great.
But yeah, and I'm also into like the mech stuff too. And one game that I will give y'all a tip for, if you ever can get it on, I don't know if you can get a physical copy, which I do, because I'm a video game nut. I collect all old school video games. Is Ring of Red, where it's basically mechs or in World War II, and the Russians and the Americans actually had to put feet on Japan to invade it and split into two. And it's really, really good. I think you have to, what do you call those things? An emulator where you have to pick it up. But that's something that if you can get an emulator to play it, play that. You will fucking love it.
Yeah, so earlier, Brotep asked Becky what she thought of these topics, and then somebody else started talking, and then she didn't get a chance to talk. So what do you think of these topics, Becky, we were talking about earlier? You got anything to say about any of those? Or? Hello?
Becky, you around? All right, give us some time. Yeah, away from keyboard. Give us some time. But I do want to show some stuff here. Just a little bit of promotion break here.
I like that background.
Oh yeah, thanks. It's something I found. I didn't draw that. I want to do more stuff like that though. All right, so one of my favorite guys is Kimosabi. Don't know what his real name is, but I did do most of his logos. I did his Black Prior Press logo and his Company Man logo. Hold on one second here. Where are we? If you haven't done that so far, I need you to go to Indiegogo and pick one of the perks for the Company Men if you're into comics at all. The Company Men, Dead, White, and Blue, adds the action of Suicide Squad to the intrigue of Homeland and the shades of gray of Body of Lies. Think Strike Back with superpowers. I don't know if any of you guys have seen stuff like Strike Back, SEAL Team 6, The Unit, those sorts of military-esque shows. So it's sort of like that, but they have powers also. If you look at the art here, it's really, really good. I mean, we're talking industry level good. It's the stuff you'd find in, any DC comic. I also like the squareness of his figures. It seems very Carlos da Anda to me. The those kinds of figures, and the way the person draws backgrounds too reminds me of Carlos da Anda. Very good stuff. It's 60 pages. This 60-page full-color book is loaded with action and conspiracy. It's the first issue in a three-issue story totaling 180 pages. So the three-issue will be 180 pages. The language, violence, and concepts are aimed at an adult audience with a story that is layered and complex. I can't speak tonight. This campaign has funded the printing and delivery of the first issue of the first story arc titled Dead, White, and Blue. So yeah, it's the pencils and inks are 100% done, the colors 50% done, and the letters are 25% done. For those of you who don't know about this, the pencils and inks are usually the most labor intensive to do. Colors come in next as the next labor intensive, and then letters, it's work as well, but it's just not as crucial. Sorry, letterers, you know. But look at this cover here. Marvel and DC Comics level stuff here. There's one cover. It doesn't look like he'll let me click on it, but it's done by a guy whose style is very David Finch-esque, and his name's Clayton Barton. So very cool stuff. 180 pages. I want that shit. Digital issue is 60 pages, full color. Yes. There we go. All right, so he did show it. Look at this. I am an appreciator of David Finch's art style, and at first glance, again I can't speak. At first glance, I thought this was David Finch. Until then I'm like, wait, and you know what it is? It's probably also that this particular poster, maybe even the poses are after David Finch. You know what I mean? Because that Flash figure back there, I could have sworn I've seen a Finch, piece with the Flash in that pose. So maybe what he's doing is he's kind of doing an homage to David Finch here. Fantastic stuff. I want this as a poster. Then, Shorty here with the afro, looking fly. Over here, this poster here, fantastic work. With kind of like a Misty Knight-esque Iron Hand here. One of the things I always found weird about Misty Knight and all these characters who have one limb that's cybernetic, right? But it's not like a leg limb. What do they do for load bearing? So if you have a cyborg arm, the rest of you still squishy and normal. How are you lifting trucks? Right? But maybe she has like a super soldier serum situation going on, right? This is the pen and ink stuff here. Let me move on to Nephilim. We just came off of whose stream were we on where we reviewed Nephilim?
Was that Tanks?
Was it Tank? Yeah, I think it was probably Tank.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last night, I think.
I'm so excited about this one.
Yep. Fantastic. Look at the armor design. Right? Let me read the I'm being a bad host here. Let me read the log line. Nephilim Squadron, Chapter 1. An action-packed hard science fantasy epic that is more than what it appears to be. Nephilim Squadron Chapter 1 is a 32-page black and white comic book. This special collector's edition is a preview of Volume 1, which will be a chapters 1 through 3 collected as a full color graphic novel launching in 2021. Every backer of Chapter 1 receives a pinup. That's a good deal. Do we get a choice of what the pinup is, or is it the one pinup and we get it, like on the house? That's a good question to ask. Taking inspiration from Heavy Metal Magazine. Yeah, I got that from how it looks. Taking inspiration from Heavy Metal Magazine and 80s anime manga. Yep, got that too. Like Macross and Area 88, Nephilim Squadron is an action-packed, epic, hard science fantasy series. The story focuses on a clone pilot. I see Star Wars in there. A clone pilot who desires a soul. But through the course of the journey, he discovers that his destiny is larger than just having a soul. And under the surface, Nephilim Squadron is an ancient mythological tale that takes place 700 years in the future. What? Here's the Chapter 1 cover for this campaign only. Yep, that's pretty cool. I like the company logo too. The title logo is pretty cool also, but I really like the company logo. Hex Island Comics. These are the character designs here. I'm a big fan of character designs, especially those that resemble or pay an homage to Mass Effect, one of my favorite games. And this seems like it does pay homage to that sort of aesthetic. Let me see. Finally here, Gun Demon.
My boy.
An action-packed superpowered throwdown. Born in the sprawling pools of planet Hell, flesh-torn and shredded, and boss Guruzarog, I learned from last time, Guruzarog's training pits, only 3 of 100 survived to be sent to Earth to raise hell. 1 of 3 found joy and became something more than just a weapon. Hell on Earth has never been this fun. Perks included a collectible trading card game, custom deck, stylish apparel, 2 variant covers, and original cover prints. Hell yeah. And this is the gunny here. I have to get my act together in terms of getting these images on the proper side of the screen. This might do. See what's what. There we go. That's the gunny. I want that t-shirt too. The V. What does the V stand for anything? You know, sort of like Superman. That's not an S, sort of thing.
He had to step away for a second.
Greg's not here.
His mom made the costume, but then again,
it reminds you of who? Oh, Man of Steel.
Man of Steel went in a completely different direction because originally on the Superman costume it wasn't S. His mom made the point.
Yeah.
V is for vengeance.
Cool. Who's managing?
Said V is for vengeance.
Oh, vengeance. Okay, got it.
I'm joking.
So probably that's what it is.
That's true, but there was like a thing.
I thought it was V for Vendetta.
V for Vendetta. But this is very cool. The guns here also drawn quite well. I like the rack. Usually the racks are on the top side of weapons, right? So that you can put scoping systems out. But he's got kind of a rack system on the guns here. I'm wondering if that's for red dot scope, perhaps.
Probably is.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was going to say, what do you think? What do you think those pistols are? You think they're 1911 SIGs or Glocks?
They seem high caliber to me. They seem like they might be of the 45 to 50 caliber variety. So I'd say maybe the equivalent of Desert Eagles.
Deagles or Jerichos.
Jerichos, okay. Yeah, very cool stuff. Who drew this, by the way?
Oh God, I can't remember who it was. Damn, I wish Greg was here. He'll be right back, and I think.
Yeah, when he comes back, you can let me know. He's the man behind this particular one. Yeah, okay, cool. But very well drawn, and I like the demon, the bad guy here. That's Abaddon, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, very cool stuff. But yeah, so that's pretty much that's what everyone has sent me. I think. Wait a minute. Actually, Dario sent me something else too. Give me a second. Dario has sent me this. This is sick.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Right on,
You
Dario.
guys know how I feel about character designs, and this is just like so. This is a minotaur with 4 arms, and he's got axes. All right, so he's got something for that ass. I guess this person down here is for scale, right? So there's a person down here that usually a human is put down there, and when a human's down there, they're between 5'8" and 6 feet tall, just for scale. So this person down here is most likely between 5'8" and 6 feet tall as an average human height. So you can see how big these giants are here. So I'm thinking the woman here is also that size, right, Dario? Or I mean, this is your stuff. Why don't you talk us through it? The lady down here is she okay? The human down here, if you can see my mouse, can you see my mouse move?
Yeah.
All right. So the lady down here, is this a smaller miniature version of her, or is this a person down there to show human scale?
Yeah, it was supposed to be for human scale. Yeah.
Okay. So this woman here with the long what do you call it? What's that? Johnny Depp, Edward Scissorhand fingers.
Yeah.
She's that scale, right? Like maybe 10, 15, 20 times her size, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell us about these characters, Dario?
The
I love
Minotaur.
the Diablo feel here too. I love the Diablo games and their designs, and this is very good. Yeah, go ahead.
The 4-arm Minotaur. He's like one of the generals for the demons army. His name's Mokad. He's basically been imprisoned, and so part of the story is going on as they try to free him from his prison, and his presence is so vile that if he's on the if he's in the world for like more than 3 days, the rest of the demons from the underworld will be unleashed on the world because his presence like makes the world sick. So
toxic male.
Yeah. And then
Dangler boy.
She right there is called the Keeper of the Balance.
Let me guess, keeps the balance.
Kind of. She could be seen by everybody in the world at the same time, no matter where you're at. She's always like sitting in the sky, cross-legged, like observing the whole world. And her whole deal is she's the only one that can lock the immortal intruder and all the demon armies back in the underworld after their 7 days are up.
Let me get a little pause here. If this person is between 5'8" and 6 feet, and he or she is in scale compared to her, when she's in the sky, it's a pretty big fucking sky. When she's in the sky, the whole world is not gonna see her. She'll be. This is a jumbo jet, and you know if a jumbo jet's up there, the whole world doesn't see the jumbo jet.
Yeah, I would say it's because of her godlike. She's kind of like she's like a god. She can be killed, but she has godlike abilities.
Okay, so it's a magical ability that makes people see her like that. All right. Yeah. I like the close up of the face too. I would have liked to see what the back of her head looks like or the sides, but beggars can't be choosers. This is good. This is great.
Yeah.
What about Mr. Personality here?
That guy is the whole reason for my universe existing. He's the thing that drives everything that's happening. He's why I created the whole universe. He's the first guy I ever made. He's basically the size of Galactus. He's the ruler of the underworld kingdom. He controls all the demon armies. He has a demon worshipping cult on Earth that worships him. and he's called the Immortal Intruder.
Hmm. All right. Build a wall, man. All right. is that him sideways?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. I like this, man. What about this guy here?
The tail is gonna be shortened. This is just the first concepts I got back, but they're called the Elders, and they're basically like devil dogs. They're the ones who created the whole world where this story is in the shared universe is taking place, and they're basically So a quick story for them is they slept with the first primitive like women species on the planet. And
Wow.
so this is where I pull from like conspiracy theories and stuff. So them sleeping with primitive women gave birth to giants.
Hmm.
And
Nephilim.
so yeah, so like basically the Nephilim or the giants are their sons, and the beings on the right, the primordials right there, they came to this world and started uh, excavating minerals and creating their own races and stuff and whatnot. And their excavation sites kept getting fucked up by these giants. So they basically greenlit the giants, and the giants were hunted to almost extinction. So the giants, being the elder sons who created this world, they didn't stand for that. So they came down to the world and they released the immortal intruder and all his demon armies on the world.
Sorry. I only just acting up. But what were you saying?
Yeah, so the giants were almost hunted to extinction, so the elders came back down to the world they created, and they unleashed the immortal intruder and all his demon armies on the world. But then they realized that the world they have created was almost destroyed by the constant war with all the demon armies and all the different races in the world. So then that's when they set the that's when they gave the Keeper of the Balance the power to lock the demons back up and stuff, and that's when they came up with the whole plan to balance the world out, kind of.
Okay. Who? First of all, who drew these for you? Did you draw these?
No, the artist that's drawing the company men, I've hired him to do all my character designs.
Mm. I love the hatching here. Very Stuart Eminem.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that a shark boxer?
No, it's it's a humanoid bullfrog
boxer.
I was a huge fan of Battletoads growing up, so I needed to have one of those characters in my world.
Cool. You see here. All right. Yeah, man. When we have time, we'll go through the rest of these. These look amazing. Shit. Look at this. All right. So we're about to start wrapping things up here. Let's take this down. Let me see here. Shut this off. But yeah. All right. Let's check out some of these. Give me a second. Yes, the Rockness. The art is great. Very good stuff.
No stripping, Dario.
Hey, speak for yourself. I want to see that man chest.
You know, it's hard out here for a pimp.
Oh, what is with this heat up on the eastern seaboard, man?
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Oh,
wait,
God.
You're responsible for this heat? The eastern seaboard?
Yeah.
The hell did you do?
Well, I got to put a shirt on and close the windows.
All right. Hold on, man. Let me see here. Yep. So I'm about to wrap this up. So I need closing closing statements from
I don't
everybody.
think so,
Greg's not
but
here.
you can't hear me, so it doesn't matter.
Well, now we can hear you. Ironically, now that we're leaving, now we can hear you.
Of course.
What do you think about the topics?
Well, like I said, I couldn't really have a conversation, so I wasn't paying attention. But now you can hear me. So But
Hello?
I'm probably gonna watch. I'm probably gonna watch the Amazon Prime movie Tomorrow War very soon.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, when you watch it,
Mhm.
you could give us your opinion on it, because the next stream I'm having won't be about that, but we can revisit certain topics,
Okay.
as always, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah,
I also have to eat soon. I'm very hungry.
let me see. And let me see. Lord Sandwich, can we get your last thoughts?
Well, my last thoughts is, the whole thing is men, women operate differently, because if you look back in time, cavemen, they had to go out there and beat up some freaking bears. And, women had to protect the cave while the men were out. So, there's uses and purposes for everyone. And nowadays, we've kind of moved past that, and we're all trying to find our place in this jacked up place we call it society. And it's not going to be easy. And a lot of people want simple solutions when it's not going to be so simple. So when it comes to movies like The Tomorrow War, I think that's a good example of how things should be. As long as we provide good examples and say, hey, this is a good example, don't do this bad, stupid stuff, that's a good start in the right direction. And to tear that down saying it's unrealistic, well, right now it is, but it doesn't mean it can't be in the future. So in the future, it could be very realistic. So shooting it down right away, probably not the best way to move forward.
Mm-hmm. And also, if I could ride on that point a little bit, the point of a lot of these films is to show a world that could be, right. So it's a good thing if you show the best of all people, and then maybe give society something to aspire to, but
That's what
yeah,
Star
but
Trek used to do.
exactly.
Until it
Dario,
was over.
Dario, what are your final thoughts?
I don't want to sound too conspiratory, but I mean, the majority of what we see out there isn't necessarily how it is for everybody in real life. Like, I would say the majority of what we see in the media is like a very small view into how life actually is in this country right now. And I just say, I mean, it creates great content, and it's good to voice opinions and everything, because you have to fight back somehow. But at the end of the day, I also feel like let these people train wreck, because eventually normies and regular ass people are going to get sick of it themselves. And this shit is cyclical. And I feel like it's almost turning back to where it's going to be in our favor. And all this hypersensitivity and clickbait shit and inclusivity and ruining hobbies is all on its way out. They're what's that saying? Go woke and go broke.
Yep.
I mean,
Get
eventually,
woke, go broke.
eventually everybody is gonna get sick of it. Like, you can't even say certain things nowadays. You have to be careful how you talk to women. Everything is considered harassment. It's like it's a very scary time right now. But like I said, society has proved, like history, if you are in tune with history, everything is cyclical, and I'm telling you, it's on its way back. It's swinging back towards our favor right now as we speak. So they're almost done.
I mean, no matter how we might feel about Bill Cosby, there's been something major that happened. His case got reversed.
I know.
You know, and
I
and
know.
I
I'm
will
gonna
I
be
will
on your
never know if
line.
he did it or not.
How could he?
Oh no,
I'm
he did
sorry.
it, but he got overturned on a technicality. But he definitely
Yeah.
did that.
Well, I don't know if he did it because they brought out an army of people
Yeah,
who
yeah.
have been decredited and debunked. Those people were
Not to
caught
mention,
in all kinds of
all these women
lies.
keep coming out after you try to buy ABC.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the
Yep.
conspiracy theory that he was trying to buy ABC. So yeah,
Well,
could
I
be
mean,
true.
it's not just even the buying ABC thing. Let's look at the hard facts of these women. There's this Cuban woman who she went and got a tan, blew up her hair into an afro, and was out there pumping her fists so that we can get images of black women being victims of her of Bill Cosby. Another woman, she got herself tanned up, uh, tan in a can, and got fake ass dreadlocks, twisted her hair into dreadlocks, so she can be another black victim, quote unquote. And it was just weird, man. And what's her name, Janice Dickinson or whoever? Every time she opened her mouth, that woman was caught in a lie during the case. So how am I supposed to believe
Yeah,
that
it's
this
hard.
guy did it? It seemed like they were out for some paper
Yeah,
because
they just
one of these women's daughter, about 10 years before that, they came after Cosby saying that you know he's her father, and she tried to blackmail him or extort him or something, and then he exposed it, and then she went to jail or something like that. So it seemed like some paper thing, but and on the other hand, he might have done it. I don't know. What I do know is the law, and by the law, you can't be doing that, man. You can't be bringing all kinds of liars, and then you setting orchestrating this whole shit, and then you tell the man, yo, um, here's the deal. If you say this particular thing that we tell you to say, you'll be free from prosecution. You pay this amount of money, and you can walk. And then when he did that, they used what he said there to prosecute him. So
yeah.
that's why the Supreme Court's like, nah. The Supreme Court looked at all that shit and said, you can't do this. The fuck you think this is? And like the race baiters were caught in a big quandary today last couple of days, because this goes against it being a racialized system. Because if it was a racialized, they would just let them roast, right? But they came out and said, no, this is wrong. They reviewed the case and said this is wrong. So I don't know. We'll see.
Mm.
And I use the term race baiters loosely too, so I don't want to be accusing people of stuff. But yeah, lots of interesting things going on. I'll probably do some streams about them as well.
And
But
also,
mhm.
and also, before I go out, I just want you to know I have a campaign, free sign up page.
Send a link, man.
It's
You have
in
a link?
the chat. It's in the private chat.
Private chat?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man,
Goofanoid. Huh?
you should have been do that. I've been waiting for. See, I thought usually I'm more animated than this, but I saw like ain't nobody really wanna Goofanoid. All right, that looks good. Give me a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Teenager dresses as a clown to investigate cults in Orlando, Florida. Yeah, that looks
Yeah.
good. Let me link this. Give me a second. So I need to minus that down. How come the banner doesn't have anything? Is it just my? Oh, there it is. Share screen. Let's do the banner here. Let's Goofanoid. All right, Goofanoid.
Mm.
Goofanoid number 1. A teenager dresses as a clown to investigate cults in Orlando, Florida. Back this early and get a Goofanoid trading card. By signing up, you will also receive the latest updates from the news and campaign. A mentally ill Goofanoid number one. A mentally ill teenager's parents were taken from him by a mysterious cult, driving the young man into further madness as he investigates the dark underbelly of Orlando, Florida, in the guise of a clown. Story by Rashid Muhammad and art by Jan. You gotta help me out here, man.
Post
Jan
last
what?
name Smarsky. I'm probably listening
Jan Kaczmarski. Got it. All right, I'll remember that for next time. So how come your images are cut off at the? Is this just me? Give me a second. Let me see.
That's
Maybe it's
this
just me.
concept art. That's
Yeah, but I don't see the rest of
on the
the.
actual campaign when it launches.
Okay. All right. But yeah. All right. So I'm about to shut this down. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications if you're on any social media platform. I need you to go ahead and share a link to this video. Oh shit! All aboard.
Wow.
All aboard. Oh wait, all aboard and Dan. No, all aboard and Dan. I didn't get your last words.
Ladies
No,
first.
hey. Dan's not a woman, and I did that to him too.
Yeah.
And also Lord Sandwich. Did I get your last words, Lord?
Yes,
Yeah,
you did.
Okay. So, all aboard. Go ahead. Can we get your last words?
Yeah, my last words are that I asked you in the private chat. I wanted to mention that we're launching a channel, Denise and I. It's gonna start
All right.
on July 4th, and at 7 p.m. It's called No Bullshit, and it's gonna be just basically discussing everything. The two of us have different viewpoints.
All right.
She's against toxic femininity, and I'm against toxic masculinity in some aspects, but we're going to be touching on different subjects. Like one of the subjects, I think I want to add Bill Cosby. You guys might be surprised on my viewpoints on it, and yeah, it should be really fun. It's gonna be a little bit different from her channel. A lot more opinions can exist and develop, and nothing wrong with that as long as you guys keep it respectful. And if you don't, then we will curse your ass out. That's gonna be the show.
If they don't keep it respectful,
Yeah.
you just show them the door, give them this on the
No.
way
First,
out.
before you get on the way to the door, you're gonna get that
Yeah,
Latin justice.
you get this. And they might not even bother to open the window before.
That's behind the scenes footage.
Wait, so what's the show gonna be called?
No bullshit.
No bullshit.
You guys should do something with that YouTube Streets name.
These YouTube streets.
But I would love for all of you guys to join us, and everybody is welcome. Honestly, even if we've argued in the past, everyone is welcome. So
everybody.
Cool.
All right.
Dan, can we get your last thoughts?
My last thoughts are one of the biggest things. I agree with Greg on this whole thing about the psyops and all that. Is this goes back to a phrase I remember said, "How do you break a man or everybody? You take away their hope." And they're doing that with comic books, with film, and all that. And that's why a lot of people are jumping to manga. That's why people are stopping. They've put down Spider-Man for Naruto because it gives you that hope. It gives you something to look forward to. You could forget for a little bit. And I just want, and that's the one reason I got into this. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about, getting famous or anything like that. I just want people to have fun and forget about problems for, if you can forget about them for about 10 or 15 minutes, I've done my job. That's what I want. I really want you guys to just to escape in this world, no matter how fucked up it is, but just escape in this world for a little bit. And, and you guys, all of you are the new hope for the future. Everybody else is just running their IPs and all that. The like Marvel and DC are just running their IPs into the ground in the mainstream movie theaters and all that. and we need more independent ideas. The more they try to block you, the more they try to shut you up. It's like putting a small, tiny beaver dam in front of the Pacific Ocean. It's going to break. It's going to break open because more and more people are going to try to break to you to go see it. They're going to be like, why are they trying to stop you from speaking? I want to go and see what he has to say. But one of the things that reminds me of, too, is something that Stalin did once that was incredibly mean. He picked up a chicken and started plucking off all the feathers off of it. And it was bloodied and all this type of stuff. And then he started putting down little chicken feed to it, and it started following it all bloodied up. And he says it's just like people. You give them a little bit, they'll do whatever you want. And that's what I see, see this as these days, just they constantly hammer you, and they want to bust you down until you're just so exhausted. Any type of little reprieve they get you, you're going to just follow it and do what they say.
Oh, that chicken story.
Yeah, he was a brutal ass bastard. I mean, God. Think about it. He just, it's the way they go and they bully you and all this type of stuff, and then he said, "Hey, we'll let up on you if you do this for us." The little bits of chicken feed, and you're so bloodied and bloodied and bruised that you're like, okay, as long as you stop.
Good cop, bad cop kind of deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just to push back, I think that's like a really interesting analogy, like comparing a chicken having its flesh, ripped apart, to not being able to call women bitches at random days. Like, okay, whatever.
What?
Like, I don't get the male. Like, I don't get how you guys feel so downtrodden. I'm trying to understand, but for me, it's like that's all I've been hearing is, oh my goodness, we can't like openly just say what we want to everyone and just, I don't get how that is equal to Stalin and a poor chicken, like having its feathers ripped out. But I
was just talking about in general with the, with the entertainment and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. It wasn't
authoritarian governments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If that's how it makes you feel, then I can respect feelings, because feelings are not always going to be realistic or rational. So if that's how it makes you feel, that you feel like you're being attacked by society for just feeling a way that you feel, then I'm trying to understand that. And I'm always open for education. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So closing this out here. Give me a second. I'm going to need people, especially on the playback. There's not many people here watching live, but I'm going to need people to go and watch The Tomorrow War. Okay? Because we need to back up our voices online, both on Twitter and Instagram, all these different places where these control freaks are trying to silence you. They picked on the wrong group. These people, they didn't know that the market was us. They didn't know that we were the market. They saw one calm guy, because every once in a while you see how they pick on someone like J. Scott Campbell. They picked on J. Scott Campbell for drawing sexy women. Then they didn't know that J. Scott Campbell has a whole league of people, of fans, who are the market. We are the market, who are willing to back him up. Sort of like, it reminds me of Rush Hour 2.
I'll be back.
Ricky Tan, get up, dog. Let's go. Come on. I've been looking for you everywhere. Let's go.
I'm busy at the moment.
Ricky, did you hear what I just said? I'm busy too now. Get on your feet. Get up. Get on your feet.
I know you. You are Lee's American friend, right?
No, I'm Lee's new muscle. And don't let this robe fool you. This is the only color they had left. Now I said get up. I ain't gonna say it again.
You Americans are so funny.
And you Asians don't hear that well. Little Ricky. Get your little punk ass up out of that chair right now. Messing up my vacation. I told you to get up, didn't I?
When these control freaks pick fights, they don't know who is backing up the people they're picking fights with. They didn't know that we are the market. And they didn't know this was coming. They thought with their little articles and them attacking Chris Pratt that he would be alone. But people were making their feelings heard about Chris Pratt standing up for himself, about Chris Pratt's career choices, and even the other creators who are calmly sitting there and not saying anything. And I like their gangster because they're kind of like Ricky Tan there in the Rush Hour 2 clip, where, they kind of play it chill. They know they got the market, they know they got the backup. And that's what I like about what's occurring, especially what happened with the Tomorrow War and Chris Pratt. I was hoping that this would happen with Black Widow. The only thing is, Scarlett Johansson has come out against men with Black Widow. We'll talk about that on some other live stream. I didn't like that at all. She used to be one of us. Now, not so much. I don't know. She's switching sides, I guess. But let's not, as black people, let's not fall for any trick bags. If they want you to attack fellow white geeks, fellow Asian geeks, fellow gay, lesbian, Asian geeks, or Hispanic geeks, Latino geeks, just don't fall for the trick bag. Keep in mind that they are playing this identity politics game. There's nothing productive or good about a trick bag.
Right, my fault. I ain't worried about it, nigga, but here's your burrito, homie. Nigga, I ain't ordered no motherfucking Postmates. Judging by your crib, you be smoking that good shit. You probably forgot you ordered Postmates. Go ahead, man, open the bag, man, jog your memory. Damn!
And that's been our show for today. I'm glad everyone stopped by. Thanks to the panel. Thanks to the people who came in the chat. And let's grow this platform. Currently, we're at, 170 subs. We need to get us to something like 300, right? Let's go right past 200 and let's get to 300. I need 300 solid subs. Let's get more brains in the room. When we get more brains in the room, we get more feedback, we get more thoughts, we get more ideas, more concepts. We have more conversations going of higher quality. So let's get more brains in the room. Help this platform grow. It's your platform too. Mi casa es su casa. Let's get it. All right? Bro, tap out.